This is not what I intended when I made this show. This is not what
on accident. What the? And I'm thinking if it got me sick.
It was on accident.
I'm hoping it didn't get me. I thought it was like a piece of food that was stuck in my teeth, but like
crisis about eating a booger is making me laugh.
Yeah, it's grossing me the fuck out. And I'm high as fuck, tripping out. That's what's really on the forefront of my mind. And I want to be okay. And I just want to not feel like this because it's grossing me out so hard. Because I'm not a germaphobe like Logan. I'm sorry, Logan.
When I first started the idea for this show, I was like, man, other podcasts, they're garbage, man. They don't be talking about shit on their show, man. I want to have a show that we talk about shit. We talk about real shit. We get right down to it. Man, 5 years later, I got Mitch on the podcast talking about, I'm so high that I just remembered I swallowed a booger today. Like, I'm just like, and this is like,
well, wait, don't, I'm not like, definite. I'm not even definite. That's the thing. I'm not even definite. It's just tripping me out because I think that's so fucking gross.
If you're just tuning in, this is so what the fuck. If you're just tuning in,
way to come back in though, right?
I'm your host Logan.
We're back,
and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with some of my.
Okay, I didn't mean that.
You will get your turn. Just calm down.
I was just excited. I'm sorry.
We are glad to be back. We are real glad to be back. I'm here with my two best friends. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Oh shit! I thought she was gonna do Claire first. What's up?
All right, everybody's ears are blown out now. Say hi to the people, Claire.
Hi, how are we all? I missed you.
Aw, that's nice.
We're so much cuter than me.
Milk and Toast podcast. This is episode 13 of the Milk and Toast podcast. Yeah. We're back.
13. Magic, unfortunate number 13 has come on this day to come in between these three souls who lie here now. May we never lay ourselves down.
You know when you're waiting for your cue to do your next bit and someone just keeps talking? Because I was going to bump up it and I was going to be like, yeah, then we got like more to come, so make sure you follow us.
Sorry, my fault.
But then Mitchell was like, you know what I'm going to come in with my high shit right now and just ruin your flow. Just ruin the flow of what could have been a really good thing. But
I'm
still.
sorry.
Make sure that you go check us out anywhere you can get your podcasts. We've got Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, YouTube. Go check us out on YouTube because, I don't know, we don't have a lot on YouTube. I think I'm the only subscriber. I was checking it out the other day and it was like one subscriber and then I was damn me.
I don't think I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel. I'll do that right now. My fault.
Yeah, get on it. Also, follow us on Twitter, Mitchell. I saw that the other day. And so should you. Everyone follow us on Twitter.
But people follow us.
You don't have to follow us on Twitter, I guess. But my point is...
What?
I'm on Insta, though, so...
What do you mean you don't have to?
I'm sorry, I backtracked because I got anxious. My bad. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have an email. I think it's milkandtoast
Oh, man.
at email.com. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Milkandtoast at...
Something like that, Claire.
Okay?
Yes.
I am trying.
I know.
I had a flow,
Thank you.
and then someone ruined it, and then I got anxious. But I got
one day, this will be what we dreamed it to be, but that is not today.
But if you subscribe and follow, you will see that day. So.
Yeah, there you go.
I've
subscribed. That's a good way to get out of that one.
I am subscribed. And it's just that when I came onto the YouTube
Mitchell.
page...
You ruined my flow.
He is so
you
high
are not
right now.
who I was trying to talk to.
I don't think Mitch has ever been this high on the podcast before.
Not this high, I don't think. And this is an accident.
He
so I guess this
he
is
just
great.
blung it right.
He is up there.
No, not even right before, like 30 minutes before. And then like the shit just set in.
Mitch
almost makes me want to take
that's
another
some
one.
shit.
Can
Mitch
you see it in my eyes? You can probably see it in my eyes too.
right now.
Yeah.
I just like looked in the eye and I was like, oh, that's a red.
Yeah, you can't see it in the eyes.
Yeah, you probably
Mitch
can.
is higher than Jeff Bezos' penis-shaped rocket right now. That's how high he is. He's like...
I don't know if I'm that high, but like, if I go take another one, I will be. Oh, I will be. Would you guys care if I took another one?
one?
Oh, okay.
Take another hit?
No, I'm kidding.
He wants another one.
He just wants to tear. He just wants to tear apart like the universe right now. Like it's just like.
No.
Anyways, how are you guys?
Good. How are you? What's been going on?
Terrible.
We've been on break for 2 weeks, haven't we?
We've been, you guys. I gave you 2-week vacation. How did it feel? Like are your lives better without the show?
Nigga, I didn't know how to feel before. What do you want from me?
I wouldn't say it's better without the show, but it definitely gave me some time to like get some shit in order. Because the podcast, even though you guys only listen to about 2 hours of it, it takes up a good chunk of our day most of the time. So to get some stuff sorted out was really helpful. So we can come back and be better than ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. What do you think, guys? Mitchell's staring at me with half eyes and Logan's writing something down. So I'll take the show from you.
Yeah. This show.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, Mitchell, be quiet. Be quiet. And then Mitchell goes.
Mitchell, don't be quiet when someone asks you a direct question. I thought you knew how to human. Wait,
whoa. You know that's a lie.
Damn
at
well
this point,
Mitch
you know
don't
that's
know
a
how
lie.
to human.
Like, come on. I thought we knew this. I'm pretty sure I let people know this before they meet me.
No, Mitch doesn't know how to. What?
Yes, but I'm an amazing actor. Amazing actor.
I saw this tweet today, and it was like, I'm watching Signs for the first time, and I'm wondering why the aliens would go to a planet that's 70% water if they get fucked up by water.
I don't understand any of that.
Because I was thinking about how Mitch isn't a human. I was like, he's probably one of the aliens from Signs. And then I was like, oh, that tweet.
Mitchell ate a booger.
He did. It's already on the show. It's right before I introduced the show.
I'm not sure, and I don't want to think about it anymore, because when I try to put it out of my mind, I felt better.
What are you,
it's really gross, guys.
How do you eat a booger?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I thought we gave up childish things.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I don't know. I love his just distress. Oh, it was a cry for help. Oh my god,
Mitch, I don't even think you're prepared to talk about the topics you brought. You brought like the 3 most serious topics.
Yeah,
what are you talking about, man?
You are blasted out of your mind.
I didn't bring up 3 serious. Wait. What was the 3rd topic I brought up? I only told you 2.
Yeah, but they're like basically 4 topics, 4 different things.
Well, I mean, Sha'Carri, because I did want to still talk about the Olympics separately, maybe.
Right.
But otherwise, the rest of it, because I don't want to go like
3 topics.
Yeah, but I just gave that to you. You didn't even know.
Toasties can never do math. We'll never be able to do math on this show ever. It's not going to happen.
You don't love us because we can do math, right?
You know what I did? Yeah, right.
That's not why you're here.
Listen, don't listen to us if you need us to do any type of math or equation.
Don't listen to us if you need us to do anything.
Yes.
Like, we're not.
I'm glad. We are barely taking care of ourselves. Like individually. This isn't a lifestyle podcast. Don't take notes.
This is true. I was thinking the other day, like,
sorry. Oh.
Claire kills us every time. Like, it's just like, Claire's on fire today too. Like she came in like real sleepy, but like now she's like super rejuvenated. She is the star of the show right now. I finished my coffee
just in. That's probably why. I just like sculled the last half and was like,
let's go. Okay, Toasties are back.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin?
Wherever you want to begin, man. I made you laugh. Oh, okay.
I wanted to talk about me because I never talk about me because you guys always say I never talk about me. I quit my job.
Go for it. Yeah.
That's true.
I quit my job.
Well, you got to burn those bridges sometimes, Sonny.
Well, no, listen. I gave my 2 weeks about 2 weeks ago, so I got like a couple more days. But you know, by the time the show comes out,
in the butt.
We're not gonna make it. By the
Sorry.
time
Man,
this show
he's
comes
trying to
out,
tell us
You
about
quit
himself,
You
Claire.
quit your job, and it was 2 weeks ago,
But-
and you got a couple of days left. Come on,
yeah, I
let's
got a
go.
couple
Sorry.
of days left, and then I'm out for good. I quit my job because I'm moving,
Oh yeah, true.
and but we don't have a place yet, so I keep
Oh,
getting questions from Sarah and her mom, like, "Are you sure you want to quit your job right now?"
Oh,
and I'm just like,
yeah.
Go
What
get
are
a
you
new
gonna
one.
do?
but
I guess everyone's asking you that.
But the thing is, with me, if I don't commit to something, I'm not gonna do it. So if I if I stay, I'm not going to New York. Like, so it's
No, I know what
either
you
keep
mean.
my job. Claire knows how I am. Either keep
Yeah.
my job or go to New York. So which one you guys want?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe are you starting
not
a
about
job
what I
hunt
want.
in New
No,
York
not
already? Like, are you looking up online, like what jobs?
Oh,
you can
yeah,
apply
we're
to
looking.
New York? Because you
It's-
could send in like online
it's
applications and stuff.
It's been quite a journey.
Mm,
Yeah.
it'd be very
Well, I
stressful.
mean-
not the job. I haven't searched for a job yet, which I'm gonna do. I feel like that's the easy part. I think looking for a place has been the hardest part right now. So everybody's a little on edge.
Do you guys
Yeah.
have money saved though, right?
Yeah, but it's a matter of getting people to take
We
the
got to
money.
put down
It's
like a down payment,
People gotta
and,
I'm like
accept your application.
and like credit checks and all that, and I'm just
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, but I thought Nicole had good credit. You don't have to put your name on
I
everything.
just called her Nicole.
Nicole.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant
I'm gonna let her
Sarah.
hang him. He is
Nicole,
so high
yes.
right now. I love it.
Shout
This
out to
dude's-
Nicole.
Shout out to
You're obviously
Weed.
on
Shout
Mitchell's
out to
mind.
Weed. Who's Nicole? Who's Nicole?
Yeah, who is Nicole? Tell us.
Oh shit,
Mitchell.
Nicole's a real person.
No. Not the one
Listen
I
here, Nicole.
referenced just now, but like the fact that there is a person that I know named Nicole, I'm just like, damn, I wish that hadn't
Does she
happened.
listen?
Does she listen to the show?
No.
I'm gonna send an invite. I'm gonna send an
Wait,
invite to the
but
show.
she wasn't even the one I was talking about. I was just smacked as fuck and thought Sarah's
Oh,
name.
Nicole.
Is she,
Nicole?
yo,
Sorry,
is she
girl.
is she the girl you were talking about before we came on? The one that you wanted to come to Brooklyn?
Mm.
You was talking about somebody. You know, they have big titties. And you wanted to come to Brooklyn.
Yo, why you all up in my business, bro? All up in my business.
Don't be sharing your business, like, especially with Logan.
I didn't put
Anything's
you out there.
content for
I
this
didn't really
guy.
put you out there. There's mad people out there with big titties, so you know you're good.
You might have fucked everything up already. Fucking my
With
day up.
everybody that has big titties.
Yeah,
Nah, 'cause
potentially.
she's
I
one
don't
of the things
know.
Mitchell's thinking of Nicole. Not impressed.
Yo,
Not
Mitch,
impressed.
are you see, I talk about how the podcast goes down, but then I'm like, yo, Mitch, you a titty man or an ass man? Like I'm just like
And I'm just like, and then it's like you be looking at me, and I'm just like, at least mine was on accident. Yours be straight up on purpose.
I know,
mine's
like
on
my
accident.
my method of making content is so fucked up. Like yeah, like
know,
I
there's
could
always
because you know
blame
why?
game.
Because I know if I can ask Mitch any fuck shit question I want, and he'll answer that shit.
Yeah, I won't always answer. I'm
does.
just real, so
Every
usually I
time.
don't care.
Every time.
Usually I don't have to care, but there are some where I'm just like, yo, like, calm down, please. Like, geez, bro.
But you answer anyway, so it's like
Shut up. I'm just honest, damn.
Yo, so what is it for you? Tits or booty?
I'm actually a tit guy.
I swear to
I
God, he
knew
says
that.
some
I knew
bullshit like
that.
eyes. Like,
Tits.
fucking fuck me.
Wow, Claire. I'm sorry men can enjoy a woman's eyes. It's a two-way street, Claire.
No,
I can
no.
also
Wait,
enjoy
wait.
some titties.
That's what I was just
You're
about to ask.
absolutely
I was just
right,
about to-
and
I was
thank
just about to
you.
ask
Don't
Claire
come
that.
down here acting like you don't enjoy like that. You can say
I
you enjoy all
do.
of it. You
I
can
was
say
just
you
about to
like
ask Claire.
everything.
Claire,
But-
Claire, what are you?
Mm.
What are you?
Oh,
Titty,
I've got-
titty.
Mm.
Oh,
I already have
oh.
titties. I bring titties to the table. So.
Claire's like, I got us
bring
both.
titties.
I got us
Yeah,
both.
I bring titties to the table. I respect it. And who doesn't like a nice round ass? It's just if you had to make me choose, like I'll probably choose titties because I like, yeah.
Mitch shared this
What's
meme like while we was on break. And it was basically, I saw it before Mitch shared it, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, Mitch was about to share that. And literally, like an hour later, he shared the shit. So it just tells you how good I know my friends.
Like you knew.
I knew. No, I'll tell you which meme it is. It said, I say this it's the one that the person's like, they're talking about, I guess they teach. And so they're like, the problem isn't men, it's patriarchy. The problem isn't white people. He already knows. The problem isn't white people, it's white supremacy. The problem isn't straight people, it's homophobia. Recognize systems of oppression before letting individual defensive paralyze you from dismantling them. And
okay, wow, my nigga did an entire fucking spot on the meme that I shared, bro. Shit, bro. Like, I forgot that I shared the shit, but damn, that shit's true. Ooh,
no, listen. No, because I was like, this would be a really good topic, so I saved the shit, and then you guys like reminded me just now because I forgot to like bring it back up, and so
you're welcome, podcast.
Yeah, whatever,
listeners.
Anyways, so like I wanted to talk about that because I have such a problem with those types of memes, I guess. Like, I feel like it's really made to like make everybody feel nice, but like you can't dismantle like systems of oppression without. If you're dismantling a machine, right? Yep. You can't dismantle a machine by not taking apart the parts of the machine. Right? So it's like, I want to take this machine apart, but I also don't want to move any of the pieces. Like, I want to not blame men for the patriarchy, but I also don't want to hold men accountable for the patriarchy. Like, what does that mean by dismantling something at the systemic level, but not blaming anybody as an individual that takes part of and takes advantage of those systems and upholds those systems because of it?
No, I get you, but now I think you're reading too deep. But
he
like,
tells me.
I mean, well, on this one you are, but it's just like, because it's like no one's not saying that. It's just like,
have you ever thought, Mitchell, that you're reading too light? Like, Mitchell, have you ever thought that you're only taking something to like at this face value and you're not looking deeper and what kind of damages that could cause? Do you know what I mean? Like, because you called us out a lot before on reading too deep into things, but that's something me and Logan do a lot, and sometimes we are guilty of that, where we've overthought it or looked too hard at it. And I'm happy to admit that for myself. Logan's his own person. But you definitely have instances took something lightly that I believe could have done harm to somebody. I'm referring to the minister that was preaching in a couple of episodes ago.
Oh, that.
I thought he was very dangerous. I thought that he was quite toxic, and I think he... Sorry.
But I don't know if that's a good example, because I was just disagreeing with you guys about how we felt about him. No, but here's the thing,
though. Your word choice was we were taking it too seriously, or we were looking too deeply at it. And I think in that instance, I wanted to look deeply at it. I think we should look deeply at it, because I think when you look at the whole holistic effect of what was happening to those youths that youth pastor was, talking to, he's doing damage.
Well, and, well, let's not get too far off.
Sorry.
And pile up on Mitch. But like, what?
Sorry. My bad.
Why am I taking it too deeply then, Mitch? For this meme that we're talking about, at least.
Well, other than it not specifically saying any other things, because I know where you're coming from, but it's just like. Because I know you're like, oh, this one's meant to feel nice, but it's like people do get stuck on taking things so personally. And so I'm not saying I don't understand why you're looking so deep into this. I'm just saying it's like no one's saying not to hold people accountable. The point is to recognize it's not about you, which to me is all that says. It's about what's happening here. Can you acknowledge that?
How did you get that out? How did you get that out of there?
How did I get that out of there?
Yeah, that it's not about you. Like what? what's your take about it then?
Well, because when I saw it and read it, it's just like we have. So yeah, there's a patriarchy existing. The men who have perpetuated that and have made that happen, because nobody actually knows who started the patriarchy. We just know shit. We don't even know that it was men. Technically, it's just like this is due to men. So yeah, it's like of course we should stop men from being toxic animals and beasts. But like, do we just assume that all men are like that when they're not? But regardless, the man who's in that society shouldn't be going, oh man, I feel so bad. People are pointing out this patriarchy and blaming me for it, because it's not about you. It's about the patriarchal problems that you should be opposed
Should
to.
he
Doing
not
something
feel bad
about.
though?
Like that it's happening or that it's his fault?
Both.
Right. Hey, Mitch. So I have like a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a question, and it's like I'm gonna try and keep it as like I'm a little bit caffeinated, so everything's gone really fast for me. So
Right.
I'm trying to keep it chill. So my concern with that is, you know how I was talking about those microaggressions and those pesky little like accidental sexisms like a little while ago? My issue is someone who does that, like does the negative towards, the female gender, and then sees that, he finds solace in that because he finds that he feels like he can relate to that, because he's not overtly sexist, he doesn't chain women to kitchens or, beat them or anything. So he's not sexist when he is actually sexist. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a bit of an out. It's like that whole thing we were talking about before, which I'm not going to get into, where there are guys on now like that out there. But I feel like people can take that as a cop-out. They can see that meme and instantly it's just like, oh, that's me. And like they can relate to parts of it. And because they're only taking it surface deep, it gives them an excuse to ignore all of their flaws, whether it be sexism, racism, homophobia, yada, yada.
The way I take it is that it's like I'm not the problem anymore. If I'm a guy, I'm not the problem of the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy that's the problem. It's not me. If I'm white, it's racism that's the problem. It's white supremacy that's the problem. It's not me. And it's all these different things that we benefit off of from being straight or from being male, or if you're white, from being white. And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody that says, "Well, you're not the problem. White supremacy is the problem." And I'm just like, well, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean that, if white supremacy is the problem, that white people aren't the problem when it comes to white supremacy?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense when you really think about it.
Okay. No, I get what you're meaning there. It's just I wouldn't think about it because I'm not that... Well, I was going to say spiteful or angry, but I don't think that's the right way to put it. It's just
but
that...
you got to remember, there are people who are very spiteful and very angry.
Which is your personal issue,
I'm
first
not
and
even
foremost.
angry. Why does that make me angry?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
No, I'm not. Well, I wasn't
calm.
talking at you, Claire. I wasn't talking at you. I wasn't even talking about you, Logan. I was just, when I heard you say that, that's what came into my head. And I was like, shit, like, but some people think about it because it's like, when I'm dealing with white supremacy, I'm talking about the effects that have been caused by white people. Yes. But it's like the same. So it's like a little white kid blaming down the street. I'm not going to go kick him in the fucking nose for something that George Washington did, and owning slaves and using white people's teeth as dentures, because I can't technically connect that to him. So I don't sit here and connect all the negative things that people have done to those specific margins of people.
I just
That's
feel like life
what
is
I'm
more
not
complicated than that.
I think that's a
complicated than
big
that.
simplification.
But nonetheless,
I think, like, what if that little kid ran up to you and called you the N-word and kicked you in the balls and then ran off?
With that
He's still
context,
a little kid.
Well, no,
you
not
still can't
even-
beat him. Like, it doesn't matter.
but
like,
no, we've changed the
But not even
context.
that. Well,
yes,
yeah, because that is a big change too.
because that's the change, and
But
that's
not-
the difference.
I don't even think it has to go that far. You're talking about like you're not just gonna go blast some little white kid in the face.
Well, I
and
said
it's like,
kick him in the ice cube in the nose. Why you blasting that motherfucker?
That's a blast.
You went and pulled
you
your
have
gun
a
out.
you have a grown ass hand, and you're hitting the little boy in the face.
But
He's
I
not
know,
getting
but you
blasted.
jumped straight to blasting him, bro.
His
You
face
said
is
blasted.
blasted.
His face is
it sounded like you pulled the
you
gun
are
out
a
on
grown
little.
adult man. It's
Why
not
you
like
pull
you're
a gun?
fellow
But why he
child.
pull a gun out on little Johnny? Like little Johnny didn't ask to have a gun. I just kicked him in the nose. I didn't pull a strap out on him. Like,
Anyways,
damn.
you kick a little white kid in the face because of your ancestors or whatever. Like everybody's gonna look at you funny. Black people don't even do shit like that. So it's like,
of course not, because we know better. We know what compassion is.
okay, because it doesn't make sense. It's wild
Exactly.
shit.
It doesn't make sense.
But that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Nobody's talking about shit that don't make sense. Like,
And
that's,
this
that's where
example,
we gotta
it's
start from.
not that different of an example. Because
It is.
don't
No,
get me
you're
wrong,
right. You're
Logan.
right. You're right. It's not that different of an example.
So,
And
but
when
let me explain.
So when the example takes it there, then I'm like, well,
Context determines a lot, but that's still not even the point. My point is, and you're gonna. This is the disagreement, because it's like I'm just saying, like, yo. So yes, I know whose ancestors or whatnot are responsible. When I walk down the street, I'm just the type of person personally. I don't sit there and see you as a white supremacist. That's just not who I am. You know what I mean? I don't expect anyone to walk up to me and look at me and be like, oh, I'm some thug or whatever based on some preconceived fucking bullshit notions they have when they look at me. So I don't do that to other people, is where I'm coming from, first and foremost. So when you're saying, like, what is white supremacy? Well, we know exactly what white supremacy is, from slavery down to not being able to get a loan because you live in a certain neighborhood because of redlining. I know who I specifically would like to talk to, beat the fuck out of, and punish otherwise and do that. But once again, I'm not going to be walking around through the rest of my neighborhood with anger or something. Well, and once again, I do it again because I'm not even talking to you when I say that. So first and foremost, it's just, I do that again, but I'm not the type to move like that. So I want to attack the actual problems, blaming the random margins. Like, I know what I'm referring to when I generally use the term white person.
Why don't we take a step back for a second?
Why do you need to take the step back? Or do you?
Because I want us to slow
something?
down. That's why. I'm just saying.
Was
we
I
need to
going
slow
too?
down.
No, for real. Was I going too fast?
No,
I
think we're all going really fast about the subject. And
well, maybe it's because it's complicated. But you asked me to explain a meme that I didn't think we needed to.
You know what?
But you did, so I'm here to talk about it.
One, it is complicated. Two, I'm talking to people who are uppers and downers at the same time. So it's not helping this conversation. But we will get through it. What I'm trying to say is, let's slow down for a second, because what I'm trying to say is, yes, I'm not going to go around calling I love when I do like white noise in the microphone, but I'm not going to go around calling every white person I know a white supremacist, first and foremost. But that you don't have to be the KKK to uphold white supremacy. Like, you don't have to be the worst example of white supremacy at the time to uphold white supremacy. So you don't need to be necessarily a card carrying member of white supremacy to support it. Like, you don't have to be that. And so, like, I know it's funny, but you don't have to be that. And so
I agree with you.
So to be like, well, I can't blame white people for this and that because I don't want somebody to call me this and that. That's two different things right off the bat. That power dynamic is is so unequal in the first place anyways. It's like, I don't want white people to call me a nigger, right? But that's not the same thing as me calling somebody a racist. You know, it doesn't even.
That's true, but it's not about what people.
Equate.
It's not about what people think or.
Well, I'm saying that the example doesn't equate.
I was about
so
to.
I'm saying to like take it there to the point where I'm like, I can't.
But once again, you've changed. It's like, and I know, like, because it is complicated as we're saying, but I know it's like, you've changed context, which matters in a lot of fucking spaces. And so I get where you're coming from.
I was just going off of your example when you were
but I mean,
you don't want to call somebody a
about
white supremacist, but you like, because you wouldn't want somebody to stereotype you as well. But I don't think it's a I think
it's not about
part
that.
of the problem I have with the meme. It's like talking about like reverse stereotyping people who are participating in oppression, and not only just participating in oppression, but benefiting from oppression. And then so now we have to do this thing where we're like,
I don't know why you reverse. This is what I'm saying. It's not about reverse stereotyping. It's just about reverse stereotyping.
If the concern is I don't want to blame white people for white supremacy because I think I'm going to end up stereotyping them as white supremacists.
No,
so
it just doesn't solve
thing.
the problem. Which is my main thing. It's like we're not so sure I could be like, yo, because you're talking about accountability and no one's saying not to hold people accountable. Mm-hmm. It's just like I don't care about the rest of the other white people. I want the actual people like responsible for white supremacy, and I'm otherwise telling people who are
what does that mean, what does that mean?
Like I, for instance, don't care about Kyle riding his skateboard who might have moved into the neighborhood and raised rent up because he wasn't the one in control of raising the rent. The fucking banker who gives you the loans are. Why can't I do something about him? I don't care about fucking Kyle.
You should care about Kyle. You should care about Kyle.
I don't though. This is what I'm saying.
Why don't you care? But why don't you care about Kyle?
Because nothing I can do or say to Kyle is going to affect changing the banker's mind.
But Kyle is part of the problem, so that makes him a problem too. Like the only reason Kyle is there in the first place, and there are plenty of Kyles and Karens that move in, needing their neighborhood to change according to them. They had just like a couple of years ago, and they probably still have the stories now, and it's just not in the news as much anymore. You have these people, they move into Bushwick, they move into Bed-Stuy, and there's music at 3 a.m. because somebody's having, like a party or whatever, and they
first
have
off,
a noise
there was already
complaint.
Music in Bed-Stuy at 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Before college.
But they come in and then they come in and then they call the police and they have a noise complaint as if like they're not the ones that just came into this neighborhood like that.
Okay, in context, yes, I think that's a problem, Logan. But I mean, like when I get to that problem,
yeah,
cool, I'll call that what it is and deal with it.
That problem is a direct line to the banker.
But I still want to deal with that problem.
The banker came last.
That's the direct line to the banker to you through Kyle?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa, no. Elaborate on that and explain it.
The banker is just a salesperson. He's just trying to sell property. He's just trying to sell to people who have money or whatever in that area. So if he wants to attract a Kyle or whatever, they're going to get in touch with the banks. The banks are going to get in touch with the police or whoever they need to do to make sure that this area turns into a new area. When Times Square is getting shot up right now, and it's a big deal that Times Square is getting shot up because of the fact that Times Square was cleaned up. Times Square used to be nothing but porno shops. So now they cleaned it up, and now it's a tourist attraction. Now it's a problem again when people getting shot in the middle of Times Square again because what the fuck is going on? This was supposed to be our safe haven. This is supposed to be this is supposed to be the part of New York that's not supposed to happen in, right? But because the money is good and because people wanted their money to be a certain way, that's why they cleared it out that way. So Kyle is a direct line to the banker because the banker is selling to Kyle. The banker wants to make a neighborhood.
I don't think we're going to see this the same way.
I'm saying the banker wants to make a neighborhood and an environment that's conducive to Kyle. He's not looking for a neighborhood that's conducive to Jamal. He's not looking there. The banker is looking for a place like that, and Kyle doesn't care.
Yeah, but it sounds to me like, because don't get me wrong, I see the Kyle problem, of course, obviously, but I'm still not seeing the direct correlation to me somehow getting to and stopping the banker from doing that. Do I take out this Kyle just to have another Kyle replace him? So
it's not about taking people out. It's not about murdering people or taking them out or something like that.
It's entirely about taking out I don't think we're going to see this the same way.
You take out one banker, it's not going to stop Wells Fargo from
keep taking
being
out the
Wells
fucking
Fargo.
bankers.
No, you can't. There's always going to be bankers. That doesn't make any sense. So even if you took it from there, it's the same analogy as the one you have on your street analogy.
But you're going with it. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to get to the, because I get like the example you're saying, but I'm trying to get like the direct quote. Because it's like, are you saying take out the market? Like, because who controls the market at the end of the day? Now, of course, I want us to control the market.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can't hold one piece of the puzzle accountable and excuse the other piece just because it's more convenient or this is what I feel with a lot of these things. I feel like it helps people maintain their relationships with Kyle because on one end, they can say that Kyle isn't really a part of the problem. And so therefore, if Kyle's not the real problem, I can blame this mysterious boogeyman that I will never meet in my life. Most of us will never meet the top banker or the top CEO of whatever company. Most of us will never meet a KKK person. Most of us will never meet.
I don't think that's as true, but
no, that's true. Most of us will never.
You never meet a KKK person
in their garb while they're like in their robes and shit.
But
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. Like somebody that you actually can see with your visual eyes. That,
like, oh
shit, this
evil.
dude is in the KKK. Most of us will never have that interaction. It's not that we don't have these accidental interactions with people who are in those secret places in high society, but most of us will never see that. So it makes it very easy to blame systems, quote unquote, of oppression and not blame individuals who are upholding oppression, like who are not upholding these systems, who are not buying into these systems, who are fully participating in these systems. And then I don't understand the idea that I can attack the hardest part of the system, by the way, without dismantling which would be the easiest part of that system. Like if people can't reckon with oppression on the lowest level of that oppression, then how would you reckon with oppression on the highest level?
But see, that's my thing. Well, to me, it's like you're never not talking
because
about
Kyle,
not dealing with the problems.
But I'm saying, no, for real.
Well, if Kyle's problematic, you point it out because that's in part of taking out.
But Kyle's not the problem, Mitch. That's my point.
Now, see,
Kyle's
that's
not
the thing.
the problem.
I never said that.
So
I
why the fuck would I reckon with Kyle? He's not the problem. Why would I go tell him anything?
Never said that.
He's just a part of the system.
If he's a part of the system.
He is.
If he's working against us like that.
You see, that's what I mean. Because then you go
context.
And say,
Kyle doesn't want to be uncomfortable, so Kyle's a part of it.
It doesn't matter if he wants to be uncomfortable or comfortable.
If he's a part of the system.
That's what I said, homie. Don't worry.
No, if you say if he's a part of the system, he is a part of the system. That's the problem. Like if you just excuse, that's what I said 15 minutes ago. You just excused him from being a part of the problem. Like we said in the beginning. You can't excuse people from that. You can't excuse me from the patriarchy. That's stupid. No. I'm a man. I benefit every day from the patriarchy.
Okay, so don't get me wrong, and I don't want this to sound awful horrible.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Because like I'm not trying to disavow or disacknowledge anything.
Right.
Because of course there are benefits to be had.
Right.
And I'm not trying to pretend those things don't happen. Mm-hmm. But if I am actively trying to, do better or make change, does this excuse me for being who I am?
What do you mean?
But am I
I get what you mean.
Pretty
yeah.
straightforward.
I got what you mean. Keep going.
Like if I'm not going to say like the best that I can be, but it's like, am I going to just stay focused on me? I just personally don't think I'm supposed to be going out to other people and dealing with people doing horrible things or whatnot. I'm not trying to say excuse the smallest piece, but I don't know. Where's the line, I guess? What line are you looking for is what I would want to know from your question. The line where humans can, and I don't mean like white, man, female, or anything, but where is it that we're going like, I guess, all right, yo, are we good or are we constantly analyzing?
Mean like unified?
Well, no. We won't talk about that just yet. That's
okay,
too much.
So what do you mean? What do you mean then?
That's too much. No, I just mean like, I guess because if there's a problem, you want to fix the problem. But when do we go like, all right, we're good. We can just build and go find out other problems and help those people be good and just build. Who are you building with? You building with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't think they are part of the system? Well, whoever's around me trying to fight against the system. I'm saying, but you can't fight against a system if you can't acknowledge what the problems of the system are. I fight against the system and acknowledge that my problems and the problems in the system, and I hope other people do. This is what I'm saying, Mitch. Like I said, I'm a guy. I'm a man, right? Right. So if I can't acknowledge that I benefit off of the patriarchy, then what the fuck is the point? Okay, so once you've acknowledged that you benefit off of the patriarchy, are you still the problem? Yes.
Until the patriarchy is dismantled, yes, I am the problem.
Until it's dismantled, no. That's a good way of putting it when you say until it's dismantled, but I just kind of disagree.
What, me?
Wait, why is that bad?
I want her to correct me.
That's true.
I want her to correct me if I need to be corrected. Go ahead.
You're not corrected. You just gave him some, like... I just have a feeling I know where Mitch is going to go.
I gave him an out?
No, I didn't say anything. I said that's a good way. I said that's a good way of putting it, but I'm not even saying that.
Like, what you're arguing. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm crashing.
Well, what do you have to say on it, Claire?
Yeah, what do you got to say, Claire?
I don't know. I just...
That's just not how I think.
Don't mince words, Claire. Don't mince words.
Yeah, you could say. I'm not going to get mad. But like I said, that's just not how I think.
I know, I just... Sorry.
Do you want to take the time? We can.
My brain just it was like, we need more caffeine. And I was like, no, right now, I'm busy.
No,
No, I just think it's just so complicated. I think everything is a lot more multifaceted than people want it to be. And because people want it to be a certain way, they think they can just put a Band-Aid on it and everything will be fine. And that's just not how it works. You know, I think such intense topics like, you know, racism and sexism and homophobia and transphobia and all of these real big issues we're facing against each other, like all our socio-economic issues that we face whilst living amongst each other. It's a lot more complicated as it is simple. You know, if we could all just pull ourselves up and be better people and try better and, you know, dismantle these things by putting a stop to them and like looking out, like watching what we say and doing all the work and being perfect humans all the time. Oh my God, wow. Yeah, that'd be great. But I just feel like that's not the world we live in. That's not reality. And I just think there's no problem in calling somebody out when they're a piece of shit. I think there's no problem in being like, Kyle, you suck, how dare you? You know, I see there's no problem in, you know, and I feel like there's no problem in accidental or unintended or unacknowledged or subconscious resentment. You know, I think as much as like that's a you thing and you need to work through that yourself and for your own personal health, I think it's healthy that, you know, people get upset by the injustice that happens to them. I think it's only fair. You know, I think that's a part of what drives people to
wait, Claire, I'm
want
sorry.
Change and to communicate.
Hold
What's
on,
up,
one thing.
Mitch?
It's no, I actually want you to, because I don't think you realized I wasn't sure what I was disagreeing, because you brought up resentment and then you brought up people like feeling a type of way about the injustice. And to me, that wasn't the resentment I meant. I thought you meant people resenting being called out on their bullshit and being like, yo, I feel, and I was
that is a part of it too.
And I was like, why would I? Sorry,
I think that level of resentment that you're talking about, because like, I agree with you, that one I can, it's like, why would I cater to you? No, fuck you.
No, yes,
but
that
I
needs
think
to be,
that level of resentment is actually stemmed from not wanting to face guilt. I think that level of resentment stems from not wanting to be held accountable for whatever thing you feel guilty, not like pointing.
No,
Dramatic effect.
I get it.
You feel guilty about what you are struggling with and what you have done that you know is wrong, but society told you it was okay, so you did it, and now someone's being like, hey, that was fucked up, but now, so you're actually resenting person who did this, not my friends. What you're actually resenting is having to feel this guilt. What you're actually resenting is being held accountable for your bullshit, and that's a you problem. But when it comes to victims feeling resentment, I think that's what stemmed change. I think, and when I say victims, I mean of anything in particular, from transphobia, homophobia, racism, yada. I think that's what stems your change. I think that's what made you stand up and be like, excuse me, I'm over this. It's the anger behind it, because everyone has felt that feeling of feeling small and feeling broken and scared and hurt because they're being attacked. You know, what they are as a person is being attacked. But it's the resentment that fuels the anger. It's the resentment that's like, nah, this isn't good enough. I can't do this anymore, you know?
Right.
Yeah, we got a little off topic, but Claire, you got to such a beautiful place, but we kind of got off
How
topic.
did I go off topic?
I think if well, listen, if you're
what Logan was bringing up was different. If you want to, because with in terms, you got into the like nitty gritty of actually doing the work, which is great. But with Logan specifically talking about how how the meme made him feel and why he feels the type of way with me and feeling it's only to the surface.
Yeah,
is there's
but I
a
feel like it's
disconnect.
connected because I feel like there is a connection in between that meme and that feeling of resentment for being held accountable for what they do.
Yeah. Okay.
For what
I
you
think the
explained.
person who made that meme feels resentment for being held accountable for doing a shitty thing. I don't know what he did that was shitty, but he decided to lump it all in together and give everyone an out. That's what I feel happened. That's where I see the connection.
I disagree, but I see your point. But no, well, the thing is, like, and that's how you feel, yeah. But I think, because you talked about, like, the feeling why people get there, where I feel like Logan was really heavy on how he feels about the disconnect just between the two things. Why are you disconnect? And I guess, and don't get me wrong, it's not like you were far off. I was just trying to get to that, if I could explain, because I can't do two things at the same time, because I'm like, shit.
Yeah, okay.
Well, because I don't even necessarily disagree what you said, but I was like, all right, well, how do I bring this back together? Because I didn't even feel that way personally. And it's just because, don't get me wrong, sure, and you could tell this about me, and that's why I keep bringing up context. Because there are some, and that's just me, and this is why I said, I didn't even try to really argue. I was just flat out like, I just fundamentally kind of disagree with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But it's just some things I'm gonna take it there because I think I want to take a little bit of look at it. I don't want to necessarily simplify things, but before we together as this, or I'm sorry, I was going off to where I really feel about it. It's like I feel like we as a species can even get to a place to be like, we can talk about these complications and then truly navigate them. People don't even actually get the basis of just how do you not know how to just value, respect another human being, hold yourself accountable so you can help other people be better. To me, that's basic, but I understand
I would like to transition off of what Mitch just said, because
I distracted from the point too a little bit, so make sure you don't get lost.
But no.
I think you need to stop focusing so hard on distracting from the point.
For this topic, Claire, I know, and this is what I just said, right? Some things I say, let's simplify, and other things, for this one, I'm gonna only disagree with you because this is where we got off a meme that I didn't intend to have this effect on anyone.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not blaming you for the meme because
I'm not hurt.
I saw the meme somewhere else before I saw you share it. I just knew where to get it because I knew you.
Which is why I'm not hurt. I know you're not blaming me. I'm just saying, like, because we both did it at two different ends, and I'm sitting here, and then Logan brings up a comment, and I'm like, all right, that is fair, and I'm like, this isn't the intention though, but it's like, oh, now a person like me is going to come in, be fine reading that meme. Yeah. But someone else is going to come in, like Claire saying, oh, they want an out. And it's like, when I look at that meme, there technically is no out, because if the man's not like fighting patriarchy, then you're part of the problem anyway. But it's like, oh, that's me who takes it that way. That's who I am as a person. So it's like, I'm glad we had the convo.
Yeah, but it said like men aren't the problem. Like, I have a problem with it exempting people from being the problem when they, it's like,
when you're put in a, sorry.
When you're
I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about patriarchy.
Sorry, I'm terrible at like cues.
No, go ahead.
It's like social cues, not even like podcast cues.
Technically,
like talking with people, being a human being. Anyway, I just feel like if you're in a position of power, because let's face it, if you're white, if you're a male, if you're straight, if you're cis, you are in a position of power over somebody else because society accepts you and they don't accept them.
Right.
Like, as a whole concept, as a very vague, like, whole concept.
Right.
You know, so you don't get to say when you're not being held responsible for something. You don't get you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
like, do you
exactly.
get where I'm coming from?
No, I get what you're saying.
Yes, I do, actually.
It's not my problem. I didn't do anything. Because if someone said, like, if like Logan and Mitchell come to me and be like, that was racist, I don't get to be like, no, it wasn't. Like, I don't get to stand here and say it wasn't.
Claire,
even
here's my
if
thing.
I truly believe that, I'm supposed to be like, okay, sorry, how was it racist? Would you like to tell me? If not, fine, that's whatever. I need to work that shit out on my own and go Google it.
Yeah.
If yes, then I get free lesson. Yay.
Free
You know
lesson,
what I
yeah.
mean? But it's like, that's not the response. You're not instant. Like, it's what I was saying about the whole defense and reflect thingy before and everything and resentment and stuff. No, just, you don't get to
Claire,
decide.
here's my, cause yeah, I feel you on that. Obviously. It's just that, I don't know. And see, that's a hard conversation to even have.
What do you disagree about?
It's not per se I disagree. It's just that, like, so I'm in this space as an artist where obviously expression is key and whatnot, and like the navigation of like societal norms and stuff works a little bit different sometimes. You know, Dave Chappelle talks about in comedic circles. Some of that is negative, toxic, like bullshit. Some of that I'm also just like, all right, when do we just like talk as people again? Because don't get me wrong, Claire, if you did some racist shit and I was it's racist, coming from me. No, I mean,
can I pause you for a second?
Yeah. What's up?
I just want to ask you something because I heard you say that before. What do you mean by we just talk as people? What does that mean?
That's the hard one. And technically, we don't live in a world where I think we're at that real point where we could just talk as each other. People aren't necessarily offended because there's nothing to be offended about. We don't have that history.
What are we talking as then, if not as people?
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
no, and this is gonna be messed up, but we're talking as fucked up people.
Well, like how? Like, what does that mean?
Well, you know, there's this. So here's the thing. As we've seen from us being raised as we were with parents who tried to raise and do us better, as parents did for them, as parents continue to do for them, as societal structures say they want to do for humanity. Like, of course, we don't live up to standard because perfection isn't a thing. But we know there's a certain type of standard, even in our fucked up country, which is why we as Americans are like, yo, what the fuck is going on that we're supposed to hold ourselves to? So when I'm describing people, when I'm talking you guys know me. This part you know of me. You know how I am. When I'm thinking of like people, when I'm thinking about standard, I'm not thinking about it in the negative sense. I'm thinking about it in the sense that it's supposed to be. Because to me, that's what it's supposed to be. If this is what we're talking about, this is what we're putting into our people. This is what we're trying to work towards. And it's just like, when it's not that, it's like, oh, there we are being those fucked up people again with all these problems who can't just live with each other and deal with each other and work through our shit. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm getting on a soapbox now, so I kind of don't even want to keep talking about this.
I got you.
But I know you get me. I don't even want to keep talking about this. It's just like, yeah, because it's like, so Claire's example back to that. She's like, yo, if you guys, you know, say I did something racist, I'm not just going to flat out tell you it wasn't racist. But it depends. Because it's like, what if Claire said a really funny joke, Logan, that me or you would understandably find funny, but due to the nature and context, which I've brought up so many times in this combo, in context, we'd have to be like, yo, Claire, that's racist. So do we not laugh because we're black, or do we laugh because it's funny as fuck? Which is an artistic conversation that we don't have to have right now. But do you kind of get where I'm going? It kind of
reminds me of parenting a little bit, like when your kid does something so fucked up, but you're like, that was good, man, that was hilarious. But you're supposed to teach it to do the right thing.
It's like you're not supposed to.
People face that sort of shit all the time, and I think it's just about staying strong. Like if I do that and you disagree, like there's been times where people have made really sexist jokes, and I've been like, oh. That was a good one. But I can't let him get away with that. Like, I can't let that fucker who thinks he's, like, top shit and better than me for having a dick get away with that hilarious-ass joke that I did laugh at. Because it's not, like, that's gotta be...
No,
Claire,
I
think it matters.
That's not the point, though.
Nah, I think it matters. I think...
That's not the point, though. That's not the point, though.
What do you mean?
Are you saying that it doesn't like she should get a pass because she's funny?
No. I'm not talking about what was right or wrong. I'm just talking about in terms of what I was talking about. It wasn't about. Oh my God! Yes, Go ahead.
Lightening up the mood.
But no, it wasn't about that. It's just like, fuck, because I was talking about, getting back to a point where it would be nice, like, oh shit, that didn't offend me because I'm secure in myself, and that wouldn't offend me because I can't hurt. And it's like, where does that ever happen? If it ever happens?
No, I don't think offense.
It might not never happen.
No, what I was about to say is I don't think offense always has to depend on whether or not you're securing yourself. Sometimes you can be offended by something and you're completely secure about it. It's just as fucking offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're right. You're right. I misspoke. But same reasoning. But you're right. I misspoke. But same reasoning. It's like shit. It's like shit though. Like if we laughed. No, I don't even want to because it's gonna.
I think if you laugh at a joke, I think jokes can be funny, but I think sometimes we need to think about who's telling the joke and why is that particular person telling the joke.
That's what the conversation really is, Claire. It's like navigating the lines.
But you're allowed to not like someone for where their line is. Also,
no, absolutely. If someone's crossed your personal boundaries,
I think.
Louis C.K. Let me say, Louis C.K. has a.
I don't want to talk about that guy. I don't want to give that guy any.
Because we're talking about jokes. We're talking about racist jokes and shit.
No, but he is not a great person. Like this is a guy. Why are we talking about a sexual assailant?
Louis C.K.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
We could be talking about someone like that Burt Ketchum guy who's just a racist. You know, why do we need to be talking about it?
He has a joke. Louis C.K. literally has a joke.
Can't you see how uncomfortable you've made Claire?
Yes. Louis C.K. literally has it. He doesn't
sexism right here.
Yo, Claire, just remember it wasn't me.
I'm not going to say anything good about Louis C.K. It's obviously an example that goes with what we're talking about. He has a joke.
Let's just ignore all of my claims of feeling uncomfortable and me not wanting to talk about this and shutting this down.
I have to second her claims, which were very, very public.
Louis C.K. is a very horrible person, and I'm just trying to talk about how horribly he is, and we can.
Yeah, but I don't want to. And I would never do this to you. If this was someone who was really triggering to you in like the black community who upset you for something,
she's pulling it out. She's pulling the friend card. I wouldn't
do this to you.
Oh, friend card pulled.
Fine, I won't talk about how horrible Louis C.K. is.
Friend zone.
We already know he's horrible. Thank you.
Friend card. Obliterate.
Okay, I won't talk about it.
I didn't expect you to go that hard.
Man, when Mitch was up in the background doing like Yu-Gi-Oh hand flips.
No, well, we just had this entire conversation, and so I couldn't we literally just had this entire conversation.
Anyways, can we talk about Cat Williams?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, yeah.
Cat Williams got asked about cancel culture.
What did he do?
He got asked about cancel culture recently. So basically, he got asked about how Chris Rock complained about, you can't say anything nowadays. And basically, Cat Williams said that, it's not that you can't say anything. It's like our job as comedians is to make people laugh. So if the material you choose isn't funny or if it's offensive, then maybe you shouldn't be saying it. And if you can't find another way to do it, then maybe you're not who you think you are.
Maybe you're not as funny.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not as funny. And that's how I feel about it too, is that like people have jokes, but if your main goal in comedy is to be offensive, then you can do that, But at the same time, which is what Kat said too, is that you can do that. You can be offensive if you want to be offensive. But if your goal is to make people laugh and they're not laughing because they're offended, then maybe you should change something. Yeah. And I believe that. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
That's fair.
100%.
Since we're talking about bad guys.
Oh, he wants to do this now.
Segue.
Wow, what a segue. Good for you.
I'm so proud.
I've been watching Loki. Okay.
I've been
watching Loki. And
Are we doing the spoiler thing again?
We're not going to spoil Loki. But
spoiler alert. Oh, no? We're not?
No, we're not spoiling Loki. We're not spoiling Loki.
I was about to get into the juice now.
I wanted to talk around Loki, though, because
let's pump the grapes.
Loki is a good show. I love that show.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show. Well, you're wrong. It's a good show.
Don't get me wrong. I like the show. No, I think it's a good show. I can't say anything now because we told us not to spoil, so never mind.
Anyways, it's a good show.
It is a good show.
I watched Loki and then it made me think about, why are we so obsessed with like villains in our culture?
That's really fair.
It also made me think about like, where this thing comes from that we believe all of a sudden that villains are more interesting than heroes. And I feel like, to me, personally, it's just lazy fucking writing. I just think it's lazy writing.
Because
I'm gonna half say yes and half
put more
say
effort into villains. You know,
Yeah.
like I 100% agree because like when you think
y'all see
about the
Cruella?
hero, it's so
No,
boring.
but that's part of the problem.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
And they've
The
done
hero's
that before
boring?
with Maleficent and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Maleficent is one of my favorite friggin' movies, and it's because they gave a character that we didn't know about, or we did know about, but we didn't know their backstory of like some more information behind it, like
how
why
they became.
And I think we as a society, and this is why a lot of people are like obsessed with serial killers and stuff, we want to know why you're bad. If we find someone who's bad, we want to know why. We want there to be a reason. Because as a society, we don't want to, as people, we don't want to just hate someone for no
Just
reason.
because, yeah.
Yeah. Like, we want that juicy, like, oh, your dad beat you kind of like awful crap.
Yeah,
so
which
we
is
can feel
horrible.
That ounce
Yeah.
of sympathy for you. And I hate that. Like, I don't hate it. I struggle with that, I think I should say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am a part of that. Because I love learning about serial killers and stuff. Sorry, that's off track. But that's
You're
but
part of the problem.
the point is, like the core point is, we're curious.
Yeah.
And we want to, we have like all this reasoning and stuff. Like we want to reason stuff, you know?
My
We want to
problem with
understand.
I think my problem with that is, like, I get the serial killer thing because serial killers are real, right? My problem is, like, when we need to sympathize, like, fictional villains, like when we need to sympathize the Joker, or we need to sympathize Cruella de Vil, or we need to sympathize even Loki sometimes, which Loki doesn't seem like that hard to sympathize with because he like
there is a scale.
yeah
of
he has
you
like
know?
Loki really is like, you know, just like a little brother that just didn't get enough attention, and like it's like
But
that.
here we are,
It's like
instantly
that way
defending
throughout
someone
the
who
whole
is
story.
technically a villain. Like instantly, we've started to like.
But like this whole thing about villains are cool and like they have so much more story than the hero. I just don't buy it because I feel like it's lazy writing and you're just making the villain the hero. Because I don't even know why. I feel like we're losing the reason why we have villains in stories in the first place. You know what I mean? Because and then it's really because we don't know. It's not even we. I'm gonna stop saying we because I like heroes.
Me too.
I think a lot
a
lot of writers are just assholes. That's what I feel like. I feel like a
Prefer
lot
not
of
to
writers
heroes,
are just
though.
assholes,
I was
and
just thinking,
they can't relate to heroes, and so they write stories where they relate to villains because they like to do grimy shit in their life, and they're like, wouldn't it be great if the grimy person was the person you sympathize with? You know?
Yeah. Because when you think about it, Invincible was amazing and it had actual heroes. The villains were actually bad people and there was no getting out of that.
Such a good
and like
series.
I've been recently watching the Defenders Marvel series that I was telling you guys about and I've almost finished it. Those heroes are
enjoyable.
badass. Those heroes are good people.
Right.
Except for
Those
maybe one of
villains
them.
are real too.
But that's relevant.
The Punisher.
Anti-heroes rule.
But he was like stated as mentally ill and not a good hero. Like he's a vigilante. He's
Anti-heroes
not a hero.
rule.
Punisher never
Still
kills
hero,
anybody that technically doesn't need to get taken
Doesn't
out.
have it
though.
coming,
Yeah.
like at all.
But see, that's the line, and it's weird, and it's
Yeah,
fuzzy.
it's a weird line
But you
with
get my
him.
point. There's
It
some
is.
really good
It is.
heroes in that whole series, like in that whole bit. There's some really good heroes in that, and they're interesting people, and they're like 3-dimensional people. They're not like fucking Black Widow or whatever, you know. Like, not that I have anything against Black Widow, but she is one of the more
Yeah, that was very specific.
1-dimensional hero that I know, 2-dimensional hero that I know, you know. So I agree with you. I think it's 100% writing. I think you can 100% make someone, because even like Spider-Man, this is such a controversial opinion and I'm sorry, but even Spider-Man I struggle with. And he's probably one of the more, like the thing about Spider-Man that's interesting to me is that there's like 1,000 of them.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's like
Yeah.
heaps of different Spider-Man, you know, and you got like Miles and you've got like Peter and you got like the weird one that was voiced by John Mulaney.
Yeah.
Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man of 2099.
And the Nick Cage one.
I don't know why that is.
But that's the most interesting thing about Spider-Man to me. Other than that, he's just a generic-ass kid who swings around and helps people. And that's cool and stuff, but that can only go so far without You know what I mean? Like, it's like a hero recipe. You know? You're either a billionaire who's bitter and twisted and built and like has like electronics, like Batman and Iron Man and stuff.
Resources.
You're a friggin' assassin, ex-assassin, like Hawkeye or Black Widow or whatever. Or you're a doctor who has like a ginormous like alter ego, like friggin' it was Hulk, and there was also someone else. He's the Deadpool villain. I can't remember his name. But you know what I'm saying? There's there's like hero recipes that a lot of people just follow and that aren't that interesting, where they try and make every evil like villain an individual person, you know? They try and individualize the villains to each area, but they don't individualize the heroes. Like what they've done with like sorry.
I think like one of the
I
biggest
went on a bit
problems.
Of a tangent, sorry.
You're all right. No, I think like one of the biggest problems.
Like I said, I like this discussion.
No, I think one of the biggest problems with it right now is just that like I'm actually sitting on the pillow that Sarah told me to sit on. Don't tell her.
I'm so gonna tell her. I'm so gonna
the
snitch.
issues in that sentence, like the
I'm
like
so
psychological.
gonna snitch.
I'm hoping like she doesn't come around the corner and see. No, like
lied and then tried to get us to lie about it.
Yeah. I'm in a healthy relationship. Anyways, no, I am. Don't do that.
I'm kidding.
What I was gonna say? No, like what I was gonna say about the heroes issue is that I feel like people forget that like heroes. I think they want villains to be like the good guys now because villains are easier to relate to because like villains aren't held to a higher standard. So it's almost like the last discussion where we had, where it's like you can have a villain, right? And there could be like some grimy asshole. And you're like, well, I'm a dick too. Like people call me a dick for saying shit I'm not supposed to say all the time. Right. And so I can relate to this guy who's not doing what he's supposed to be doing either. And look, he's really sad. I get sad sometimes too, you know? And like, that's cool and all that, like, you know, we could have like, I guess people on screen that like are flawed as like characters and things like that. That are basically representations of ourselves. But I feel like the problem with that is that we're kind of losing heroes now. So like, when it comes to storytelling, like we're losing the purpose of a hero. And the purpose of a hero isn't to be like this spectacle thing that we just like marvel at. The purpose of a hero is to like basically embody an ideal and then be that ideal that we would strive to be. They're supposed to be better than us on purpose, not to look down on us, but that so that we could like have something to want to be better about, to make ourselves better. You know what I mean?
Talking DC. If you're talking Marvel, then we're getting a little bit different.
No, like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's whole MO used to be that, you know, with great responsibility comes great power.
How dare you?
With great power comes great responsibility. Sorry, I say everything backwards. Leave me alone. I say everything backwards. Nobody stops me. Then when I start talking about Spider-Man, anyways. No, his whole thing was responsibility, right? And then, like,
I'm still disappointed in you.
And then, like, when we watch the movies, it slowly gets evaporated out of the movie. It goes from with great power comes great responsibility with the Tobey Maguire movies. Then the Andrew Garfield movies are like, yeah, something responsibility, be responsible. and then like in the Tom Holland movies, they don't even talk about it. He's just like, I just want to be a good guy. Like it's just like
I'm in France. Hey, I'm in France. And was it France or Europe? I don't know.
Yeah, he was in Germany. It was in Germany.
Okay, but Logan, keep in mind, you don't have to. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have to beat people over the face with it because regardless, Peter Parker being a child using his powers to help people is him being majorly responsible. As soon as he steps out in the suit.
It is, but like even in the Andrew Garfield movies, like he's like mad irresponsible. Like he's not trying to help nobody but him fucking self. Like
that was
he's
also
like
still a part of the ideal and the point, though. The fact was, Peter. Well, you know that Peter Parker was still a child growing up, so he learned this from Uncle Ben, who was an archetypical mentor, father figure. Yo, I'm gonna put right in you, and then still had to grow up and deal with himself. So yes, there's the ideal for him to live up to, but there's still his imperfect human nature, and then being a child having to mature, that still ties into that too. So you can play with that scheme however you want. We're artists, you study film. I'm an actor, you know what I'm saying? We know you could flip that. I mean, it's whose perspective, who writes it, who wrote it, bro. Like, who wrote it?
But that's my
I'm
problem.
mad that's funny though, because I know. I'm mad that's funny you did this slide. I just don't know if that's the best example. Cause the Andrew Garfield movies, I'm not as excited
we got
about it.
opinions. We all got opinions.
We do. Of course we do. But the Tom Holland ones I still think are good. And it's like when you have the notion that he's auto-responsible when he's like a 15-year-old boy who puts on some spandex and goes out into the streets and risks death.
Well, the thing is, like, Spider-Man isn't like the most ideally responsible person, but at least he's like trying to be responsible, and that's like that's his MO. Is like, I'm trying to figure out what responsibility is, and I'm trying to become that vision of like responsibility.
It was a really important integral part to it, the responsibility, because it was something he took on from Uncle Ben. It was something Uncle Ben was trying to ingrain in him because he was young and he was, a teenager and he wasn't even bit by the spider. I don't know what law we're going by, but because he was young and he was a kid, it was something, his parental figure was trying to ingrain in him. And then when his parental figure passes, it's something that's stuck, it's something that stuck. And that actually, and the beautiful thing about it was something that he took into this amazing new thing he got, which was his powers. And it was important because it's sort of like, I don't know how to explain it, but like it is important, but it's like multifaceted in the sense that it's got that, like, it's like a code or a creed or like a ninja way. You know what I mean? Like it's a part of him. It's something that like directed his driving force. He was, and like Logan was saying, he's trying to be responsible, and of course he's a kid, and of course he's a teenager, and he's going to do stupid shit, but as long as he's trying to be responsible and he's trying to use his power within reason, he wasn't doing harm. He wasn't being he wasn't being, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to come from?
Yeah
I think so. I was just kind of just listening, and I was like, yeah. It's just, I was only gonna say because I rewatched the original X-Men not the original, but the X-Men '90s series, and now I'm rewatching Spider-Man.
From
both
the 90s,
are still amazing, and I'm just rewatching it. I'm like, man, why does it almost play like Stanley did a line? It was like, all right, Peter Parker's trying to get some ass. Shit, Spider-Man.
Yes. That is exactly how that cartoon goes.
It's so good, but like every couple seconds, it's like, I feel like Pete's talking to a brand new girl, but I mean, I'm glad there are women in this series, but it's like, why does it feel like they all just there for Peter Parker to talk to, bro? Peter Parker pulling up to Felicia Hardy's party like, yo, what's up? She's like, oh, hey, Felicia. Oh, Pete, why you flirting? Got on his Spider-Man powers, like, you flirting? Aunt May trying to get him to go on a blind date. Pete like, I don't even want this blind date, Aunt May. God damn it, City needs Spider-Man. Comes back. Oh, shit, I forgot to call her. She comes in. Oh, hey, Mary Jane. Damn, Pete and her trying to get some ass, man. Just trying to get some ass right now.
He never gets it, though. He never gets it. It's like that Borat. It's like that Borat joke. He's like, you will never get it.
Never. I would say
it's
never.
The Sweet Justice of Sexism.
Because it's a 90s cartoon.
I just always love that Sweet Justice of Sexism where like the horn dogs never got it because it's like, no, you don't deserve it. Like we still have the power. I think it was like that small thing that we'd hold on to.
But it is kind of funny. Great series though, of course, and I'm loving rewatching it again. But I'm like looking, I'm like, damn. You were kind of talking to a lot of girls at once. There was your science.
He's always had a lot of girls, though. He's always had the three main.
I mean, once he got the spider powers.
He's always had Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and Liz Tyler.
Felicia Hardy, too.
Well, listen, you get bit by a
Felicia
spider,
Hardy, not so much.
get
And
all
there's
swole.
also Catwoman, not Catwoman, but the woman cat.
Grow 3 inches overnight.
Black Cat. That one.
Yeah, she is Felicia. Wait.
Is
Black
she?
Cat was Felicia. Yeah, Felicia Hardy is Black Cat. That's why I brought her up.
Had him. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. No, but Logan's dead. It's
My
dead
cool
right.
kid is showing.
The spider boost, the spider power boost came in, and all the honeys was like, "Yo, what is up with
What's
the
going on with
nerd?
Pete?
The fuck?"
I love that in the Tobey Maguire movie, how they represent that with he gets rid of the glasses and his hair's all slicked back and his outfit's just completely changed.
Oh,
and he
you
does
mean
that
the
whole
third?
thing where he catches Mary Jane.
No,
with,
like the first
and
one.
The hand.
Oh,
Like the
okay,
first one.
yeah, you're right. And he's like,
Yeah. When he
that
catches
was
all the
live.
food and
Did you
stuff
guys
and
know
he's all
that?
suave.
Yeah, he did that
Okay.
for real.
That scene was live, Claire. I don't know if you knew that. It
You
took
go,
them like
Toby, you
100
go.
takes or something, but he straight up did that. I think that's amazing.
He's like, don't
That's
tell people
amazing.
that.
It's still amazing. Still quite amazing. But yeah,
No,
man,
I
that is
agree,
funny.
100%.
But
Good
no,
times.
okay, I get you. But I mean, back to the
How
hero
many
villain
times
thing.
that bitch fall on the ground and just smack her face?
I don't know. Imagine.
Tobey Maguire's goofy ass dropping Kirsten Dunst like 1,000 times.
Oh, sorry, Mary Jane. Sorry, Mary Jane. Toby, stop fucking dropping me. I will leave the goddamn
Okay,
studio.
can we prioritize catching the girl, not the food? Thank you. Next day.
I just thought about all the times when I heard that stat. I thought about all the times he dropped the food on top of her. I'm like, what is his hair and makeup's like nightmare. Like they got to keep
Bro.
redoing Mary Jane
just walk
over
in,
and
just
over.
I love
fair.
how me and
I mean,
Logan
they getting
instantly
paid. They
went to
probably
like
loved it.
the logistics of how that would have worked.
They get paid.
Yeah, I brought in
Like
hair
what?
and makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like probably tiring.
How many times did she slip and fall on her ass? The bruises she'd have.
But no, like I don't know. I just think they should write better. I think people should stop being so lazy. I think
Oh, I agree.
people can start can you write a good hero story where the hero doesn't even have to be like now hero stories are like the hero's got to be dark and gritty and he has to also murder a bunch of people. Like it's just like what? Why? Why? Like
Some
they
of
don't
us
even
like anti-heroes. Some of us
Like-
like anti-heroes. I'm just saying.
we don't know what a hero is so much that they won't let Batman eat. Okay. Anyways.
All right, so
Did you guys see the Killing Joke?
The cartoon
Reddit
movie?
or
Yeah.
saw the film?
Oh, I hated
Since when
that
does
shit.
Batman fuck Batgirl? Like,
Oh, you didn't know
was-
that?
I
No,
think
that
that
happened.
happened.
Yeah, that happened.
That
No, that
happened.
happened. That happened, Claire. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yo, comics.
Look
People
at her
think comics
face.
are these. People
But,
think
like,
comics
in
are
the-
these
okay.
nice places, bro.
No,
They
I
are
saw.
not.
No, I saw the
Shouldn't
movie.
be happening.
Barbara, really?
No, wait.
Yes. Yes.
I saw.
Gordon.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
no respect.
Wait, yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking when I saw
Barbara
the
Gordon,
movie.
a grown ass woman. Barbara Gordon, a grown ass woman.
No,
Oh,
real
but, like,
shit. When I saw that movie too,
He's
I was
almost
like,
as old as Gordon.
right.
He's like,
I was like,
he's
this
10
is
years younger than Gordon. And 10 years older than Bob.
Yeah, but superhero people age differently, man. They ain't worry
no,
about numbers.
No. No,
I
let's
was
not.
like,
Let's
I was
not.
watching,
Let's not.
I was watching that, and I was like, this is so disrespectful. Like I was like,
Oh my god, bro. Well, they do bring that up in the comic, and they have the conversation. That's what I'm saying. Comics are great places to be,
And that
man.
whole argument Mitchell was trying to make about how like Barbara's her own grown is a grown ass woman. Yeah, that stands for if it's going to be a relationship or Barbara isn't being manipulated on a
That's her
rooftop.
employer.
Or if it's not a man in a position of power above her.
this is
But that's
workplace
not how it went
harassment.
down, guys. He didn't like. Oh wait, I didn't see the
Oh.
movie.
It is how it went down because Batman
In the
she,
movie,
she,
that's how
she
it went
describes
down.
in the movie that like Batman was like harassing her for weeks. Batman was like
Weeks.
just frustrated with her
I'd have
and
to-
for
I'd have to
no
go read it
reason.
again.
She's like, "Well, what
And,
is
like,
it?"
doing that
And he's like,
weird,
"I
like-
just need to fuck." And like it's like that was
What?
the movie.
I don't think
hated
that's how it
so
was in the
much.
comics, but don't quote me. But like, oh my god, that sounds horrible.
He didn't say that, but that was the sentiment.
It
It
was
was just like
very- No, I
he's
get
just Batman's just flying on rooftops.
And he was doing that abusive ass shit where he was like
Did
being
they
really
write it
nice
in
to
where she
her and
eventually
like
just
giving her
caves?
stuff and then just absolutely
No,
snapping it on him.
It's not like she just caves, but they just like start fucking, and it's just gross.
Like she's
It's
into
just-
it. Like they just went from
Yes.
like he's being like
It's
this
horrible.
sexual harassment case,
She
and
can
she's just
be
like, oh
into
Batman,
it.
oh Batman. Okay, fine.
She can be
Yeah.
into it and still be
She can
manipulative.
Yeah, she can be into it and still be manipulative.
No, that's not the point I'm saying. Is that how they wrote it though?
Yes. It was gross.
Well, that's
The
what
whole
I'm thinking.
movie
That's
I
not
hated. I didn't like the whole movie. I know there's a whole nother comic book that is adapted
No,
by.
yeah, I don't remember that.
I didn't like it. It was just bad. I don't know if they cut out pieces that they should have left in, but it was just it was a bad movie. I didn't
Mind
like
you, Killing Joke, I don't even believe is where that. Well, never mind, because I don't remember Zach Perfect. But damn, man,
Killing Joke the movie is where that happened. First of all, second of all, the reason I brought it up was just because, like, fuck Batman, I hate him.
Damn. The reason I brought it up is fuck that motherfucker, man. Yo, fuck him and what he stand for.
Oh, your parents died. I'm so sorry. Go fucking die in a hole. You're a piece of shit.
Claire.
You're nothing but another rich white boy. I hate you.
Claire, that man's an orphan. Why are you gonna do that? I mean, yeah, he's a rich orphan. Why are you gonna do him like that? No one
I
should lose
got
their
no
parents.
sympathy.
I like Batman. I just don't like how they write Batman all the time.
I'm sorry, I
these
hate him.
days.
You don't like
No.
you don't like the animated series?
No, you know who I like out of the Batman
Whoa, did
thing?
you not like the animated series?
No.
You didn't like Batman
that's a lie.
in the
That's a lie.
animated
That's a lie.
series?
That's a lie.
That's like the
I
purest
like-
version of Batman ever.
I know. I'm just
Besides
really mad
Brave
at
and the Bold, I guess. Like,
I just get mad at all the love. Sorry, you just mentioned Brave and the Bold, and that made me laugh. I just get mad at all the love Batman gets
That's too.
when he's such a trash human.
I think
when
Batman.
he's such a trash human. Like,
I think
such a
Batman
trash
gets that
human.
love because like he's a human versus being like a superhero. Like, you know what I mean? He's not like an alien and that flies and shoots lasers
Like,
through his eyes.
Superman
you know what I
ain't
mean?
better. Like, I don't like Superman either, to be honest with you. But
Superman's
Yeah,
got
but
his
Superman.
problems. Yeah.
yeah,
Superman got his, why did you say that like you know? My man had the notepad, had the pen in his ear, like, yeah, well, you know, Claire, like, you know, I mean, if you ever talk to the guy, you know it ain't easy. You know it ain't easy having impenetrable skin. You ever try taking a hot shower?
I mean, we haven't talked in a while, but you know, he comes by every once in a while. You know,
I mean,
he
like,
says
yeah,
hi.
are you actually Lois Lane?
I'm actually Lois.
Whoa, wow.
Zip
Claire went so
transition.
far as to make you Superman's bottom? This is strange.
This is crazy.
But so Claire. That's so Claire.
Why do you think I'm sitting on this pillow right now? I'm just like,
He took it there. He took it
I
there.
hate
He
you guys.
can't take it back.
I actually have to use the bathroom. I think now's a good time to go.
okay,
Okay.
Hold down the fort. I'll be right back.
go for it. We can wait.
Man said, why do you think I'm sitting on this pillow?
Kind of funny. Whenever he walks into the room, he takes his shoes off. I'm just like, what? Just walk to the thing and take your shoes off. Why are you going to take your shoes off like over there?
You know what's funny about that though? Because
Yeah.
he walks to the room to take his shoes off, and I feel like it's a Caribbean people thing where he doesn't want to walk through the house with shoes on, but he's
Yeah, it makes sense.
he's
Like-
in the house. Like that part
Yeah,
of the
that's what
house
I mean.
is
Like, you
his
take your
house.
shoes off
Like
at
it's
the door.
not like when he comes into his room, he's going outside again. Like he's in the whole time.
Like, I can respect like customs and shit, and like if everyone wanted me to take a shit, I would say something though. If I get halfway through a goddamn house and someone was like, "Okay, now take your shoes off to go into this room," I'd be like,
Yeah, like how did he get the
"Why?
shoes in?
Can
Did
I
he
have
like
some
take?
information, please?"
Did he take? I want to know. Did he like take the shoes off at the door, carry them to his room, and then put them back on?
Just across the like threshold?
Just like, yes. Maybe the shoes are haunted, and he had to put salt down in front of the door, like in Supernatural. That he can't leave the room if the shoes are on. Like,
I never got that because as soon as you open the door, the salt moves.
you would think of that, Claire. Yeah, like, I would have never thought of that. She's
Well,
like,
if demons are real, I'm
She's
going to
like-
use every possible chance I can find. I don't believe they're real, but if they are real, I'm not going to die. Like,
Claire's like,
fuck this.
Wouldn't a draft come in and blow the snow? Like,
oh my god, the amount of times people have had like a window open, like wind doesn't exist. It's like a rainy ass windy day, and they're like, we've salted the windows, and the windows open because wind doesn't exist this way. It's like that's not how
why
science
wouldn't the
works.
demon just like wouldn't he just like move that shit?
It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
I don't know. I don't know the science of demons. Like, I don't know that.
Neither.
I stay out of that. You know, you got to ask permission
I
about
know
that
you
shit.
do.
Yeah. I'll be fucking with I don't get it. What I don't understand is like people that don't believe in God be fucking with demons. That I don't get. Like, I don't understand. What is your deal, sir? You don't believe in God, but you want to fuck with demons. Why?
Yeah, I just don't even touch any of
makes
it. I'm
no
like,
sense.
I'm just completely removed.
Can Mitch hear what I'm saying? Oh my God.
I don't know. Mitchell, can you hear what we're saying?
Did you hear what I was saying about the demons?
No.
Oh, what were you laughing about?
No, I was just saying
He's got
that I'm
his
sorry.
own shit going on. What's with the door open? Are you inviting in demons?
No.
No, I was just saying I don't get why people who don't believe in God will fuck with demons. Like, I don't get that shit. That just sounds so what? Like
it's so funny.
I
Because
mean,
it's such a good point. You either fuck with it all or you don't fuck with it.
And if you do, why are you fucking with the worst part? Like
What's
this
the
is
worst part?
Worst. But this part won't help you. This part, sir. Excuse me, sir.
we like that, man.
I'm like,
Oh
what?
my god, that is so funny. Oh, my throat hurts.
Did I miss anything while I was gone?
Yeah, we was
little
wondering
bit.
why when you walk through your room, you have your shoes on, but you leave the room and take your shoes off. Like,
I didn't have my shoes on.
she just watched you kick your shoes off. She says, Claire says, whenever you leave the room, you kick your shoes off. Then you
No, I kicked them on. I kicked them on.
Oh, you put them on. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's what
My
I was
question still
saying.
stands. Okay, my question still stands. Is your home, like, you know how when you come into your home, you take your shoes off?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's how that works. Is your home just like the respect you have for your home and your floor, just like minimized to your bedroom? Like, do you not give a shit about the living areas that you communally share? Is it dirty because you're communally sharing them with other people? Like, what's happening?
Those aren't my shoes.
What's the reasoning?
Those are my house slippers. For one,
Okay,
for
I'm
going
wearing
about
my
this
house
space.
slippers right
Okay.
now in my house. Like, I've got my house slippers on right now.
Those are
I'm
my
not going
house
to take
slippers.
them off over here to sit down. And then when I decide to go get a drink of water or whatever, get up and put them back on.
I
to
have
leave.
rugs
Like, I don't-
in my room. I have rugs in my room to step on, so I can be barefoot in my room. So when I come in onto the tile with my house slippers, I take the slippers off to bare my bare feet on my rugs.
Because I totally thought the reason was like you come into your room, right? Like, because that's like your house, right? And so you put you take your shoes off because you're in your house, but then when you leave your room, you're like, fuck all this. Like, you know, you just like stomping around in shoes.
No. House slippers. When I come in the front door, I take off my shoes and I just slip into my slippers and I'm okay walking in those. When I come into my room, I take them off because I have rugs in my room to like put my bare feet on.
I was also thinking, I was like,
It's like a process.
yeah, I
Exactly.
know. I was like, what does Mitch do if he takes his shoes off?
Mitchell, I
go
have a very
through the
serious
house?
question I need to
Yeah,
ask
go
you.
for it.
You get up, you get ready for work, you're doing your business. Do you walk around in slippers and then when you, like, so you walk around barefoot in your bedroom while you're getting ready and shit, and you put on your slippers to walk around, do your breakfast and your teeth and stuff. Do you then go to the front door and then take off your slippers and put on your shoes, or do you just put your shoes on when you get ready?
I take off my slippers and put on my shoes and then go outside.
People's personal habits are quite amusing to me. I should be an anthropologist.
Perhaps. Ethnography is a really interesting study. I studied that
Yeah.
in school. Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know
Yeah.
if I can say a perfect example of like explaining a culture to someone, but if you're trying to scientifically understand someone's culture, it makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
Is that a
the basics.
What's
the point? Was everybody laughing?
I don't know.
Why are you guys laughing at me? Stop
It's not,
laughing
like,
at
it's
me.
not judgment. It genuinely just was my personal curiosity, because I just love learning people's habits. Like, I was talking to my psych about this recently, about how I just love observing, and people often think I'm judging them, but in reality I'm like assessing the situation, I guess, and learning everything I can in like a second. Like, I'll just like look around and like observe a room and just be like, okay. And just part
Who's
of it
that
is like
person?
threat taking, but the other part of it is just like, I'm just
No, I respect
curious. Like, I want to know what people are thinking. And the amount of times I've sat on the train and played the game of what person has what job, like, it is a little stereotypical, because like I'm taking him on like face value, but I'll try and be like,
That's such a
like
pure
an
way
analyst,
to think of
you know,
people.
like
Yeah.
Have you ever asked anybody?
sometimes if they seem chill, like if I don't, they're not gonna like yell at me or stab me or whatever, but because it's a train, you know.
I used to.
What's your percentage of? What's your accuracy? Like, do you end up being right some of the times, or?
Some of the time, yeah. So there was this mum there, and she had like 2 kids. But I was looking at her, and she looked like she just got from work. Like, she didn't look like a single mum. And I was looking at her, and then I started talking to her kid, because her kid came over and gave me a penny, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Thank you for this." Like, it was like just a thing. And then I went over and I sat next to her, and I was like, we're just chatting, and I was like, "So do you work?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, do you work in like insurance or something?" And she was like, "Exactly, insurance." Like, yeah, I just came from the city. And I was like, I'm like, you don't know me, but I assume that about you. Please don't think I'm a
All right,
psycho.
that'll be $500. Claire pulls
Do you
up,
ever
okay,
pretend that
yes.
you used to work in insurance and that's why you knew?
No.
I would do that.
No,
Okay.
Logan,
That's
because
some
she's not
psycho
evil.
shit I would
What's
do.
wrong
Yeah, I
with
would
you? What
do
is
that.
wrong with you?
I don't know.
Claire's having these
Not
wonderful,
my
wholesome
level of
moments.
psycho, thank you.
I would, yeah,
My
I would,
level of psycho
I would
is
totally
a
be like,
psycho
"Hey,
level
do
more
you, are you a zookeeper?" And they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I'd be like, "I used to be one too." They'd be like, "Where? Brooklyn?" And like, I'd be like, "I worked at the Bronx Zoo or some shit." Like, just because I've been.
Yeah, man, you need any help cleaning
You're
tonight? Just let me in.
crazy, homie.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Steal an orangutan.
That was some just casual mental illness.
Yes, it
In fact, you have, yeah, what the?
is. Because it's a lot of pressure to be like answering questions that you just asked somebody else. It's like, why are you asking me this? Because I am too. I am you. Like, that's why. I also am you.
Me too.
Me too.
man.
I too have this experience that I've never had.
Dang, son.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
You're so. What's wrong with you, man? All right. Bro, I was like, Claire's sitting here having this nice, wholesome moment. And then Logan's triggered ass brain, he was like, "Nah, I can fuck that shit up." Now watch. You want to see how I fuck that shit up, Claire?
It could have been a lot worse because she was
It
talking
could've,
about.
that's true.
No, she was talking about how like she looks at other people and she thinks about what jobs they might have. And I was like, that's so pure because when I look at other people, that's not what I want.
No.
I try to guess personalities as well based on like
because-
accessories and stuff. But
That's
I know,
cool.
but
like,
what I
if
wonder
they
is
look
like
they're not coming from work or anything, that's where I go.
like my new
Try to
shit.
entertain myself.
My new shit is like looking at old people, like old couples, and wondering what their sex life was in like the 40s. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's my new shit. Like, I told you it gets worse.
Oh, that just
Like
reminds me of
but I
Parks and
wo-
Rec.
Listen, there was this couple that came in my job, and they're like regulars, right? The guy, he's like 6'2", and the woman, she's like basically 4'9". I'm not supposed to wonder what they used to do back in the day. I'm like, he's so tall.
Yeah,
She's
she climbed
tiny.
him.
She's a tiny lady. Mitch took his headphones off. He's gone.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna go. I didn't think this would make me like. I didn't think this would make me like this, but I think I'm just gonna head out.
Y'all never thought of that before though. Y'all
Not
never.
with an old couple, bro.
Yeah, like I've seen like a couple walk past, and I'm like, damn, girl. Like, you know, like
Exactly.
You just know
I'm just like,
it.
damn, girl.
But,
So, okay. Y'all only do that for good-looking couples. I see you.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, who said that elderly couple isn't good looking? I never said good looking. I just said youthful.
Oh,
I'm young.
youthful.
I never said. Who brought looks into this, Logan? You said
Useful.
old people are ugly?
No, I'm just saying that people don't look at
I'm too
old
quick for
people
you,
all
boy.
the time for like their porn or whatever. So it's not like
Yeah, I don't actually, but
Yeah.
I hope they do.
there's a reason for that.
I don't really surround myself with old people. Like, I'm not really
Well,
around
I live
old
in
people.
Florida, which is like the old people's
Yeah, I was
capital of the
gonna
world.
say, like, I
So
think-
I have a lot of material. So
Logan,
No,
Every-
no.
every Floridian
I bought this
comedian-
mission. I bought it. I bought
every
this
Floridian
mission.
comedian in New York has made the old people in Florida joke.
about the
So I'm telling you now. No.
Or about the
You
Well,
can-
see,
you can
then
have
I'm the
that one.
first. There you go.
You can have that one. Yeah, you can have that one.
No.
I'm be so proud.
Just having the material.
Well,
Of
yeah.
old people.
Oh,
But you guys don't wonder? No, it's just me. Okay,
Nah,
whatever.
I mean,
we can move on.
nah. I don't really like to think about it. Like, I found that there was this ad. I didn't find this ad. It just sort of popped in my face. There was this ad, and it was like an ad for like this drug. It wasn't Viagra, but it was sort of like it made old people feel energized again. You know, like it was like a youthful thing. And the
Oh,
ad
man,
had
this
them
show's
like,
going places.
like they're like veiny, flabby ass legs, looking like they were having sex behind a bush, and it was like enough for me. I was
Really?
like, whoa.
That's
Yeah,
best.
it was super. It was like
Oh.
really graphic, almost. Oh my god, Logan, you have a fetish.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
No,
I did not know
think
this was a
that's
thing.
cool. No, that's not cool.
Listen, I'm not here to shame you.
A
You
couple
need
of
to get out,
geezers,
man.
they're
You just
just
need
like,
to go out. You just need
I'm
to
not here to shame you.
leave and find some people your own age.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
live your life a little more. Like, you just
I'm
need to
glad
go
you
make
got
some
Sarah.
friends. Like,
I have a girlfriend, but
yeah, one. You need more friends.
I need. I was about to make a joke. I was about to be like, I have a girlfriend. She's 70. It's whatever.
So rude. I would have laughed if Sarah was like 30 though, because that would have just set me up for some really good jokes. But she, unfortunately, is not. No offense, Sarah. Sorry.
Claire says grow up, Sarah.
No, I never said that.
Claire says grow up.
I just said
and
I
she'll
wish
see
you were 30. But the fact that you're not, it's fine. Because my consent means everything.
Gonna be 30 soon.
Mitch is right. This podcast is going
sorry.
places.
Go
It's not
places.
going to the top, but it's
So-
going places.
I mean, this might do it. I guess we'll see in a few
It's
years.
like, dude, the old people sex, that's going to put us over. Yeah,
I mean, you don't know how these algorithms work, man. That's all I'm
that's
saying.
true.
That's all.
No,
I'm
you know
saying.
what I hate most? I hate the memes when they're like, gone under the days where like grandma used to take out grandpa used to take out grandma, and like they just went cruising and nobody expected anything. I'm like, listen, your grandmother has like 13 children. What do you think she was doing?
Gee, Grandma got married at 16. That's a bit young. I wonder what that was trying to cover up.
Like, can we stop pretending
Cover
old
up.
people are like good people just because they're old? Like, they're just the ones that made it. Like, let's
And because the
stop.
rules that were enforced on them back then were
Yeah.
so like incredibly toxic and overbearing that they rebelled intensely.
They were still
Yeah.
fucking. That's what I don't
Yeah,
understand.
they didn't stop. It just wasn't talked about.
They were fucking and
Pilgrims?
cheating and doing all types of shit.
Pilgrims, fucking Puritans,
Everything.
fucking.
The thing is about the pilgrims. These
How
people
we got
that
hit.
those people were like fucking like farm animals too. Like nobody wants to talk about that shit. Like you think Alabama's just that way just because of no reason? Stop it. I'm sorry. Okay, we need to move
so
on.
pointed.
I'm like, I'm going on tangents.
I didn't have to leave that time, but I don't know if that was a good one.
That made me uncomfy.
Man, man said pilgrims? You think Alabama is just... it's just in my head. I realized how offensive that got, and it just made it a lot better. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, we're having fun today.
Yes, we
We're
are.
back better than ever, eh?
What else did we have to get to today?
We had a couple
covered
of
a
things.
lot,
No, we're
yo.
gonna wrap up soon, but like,
Yeah, because
no, like we had like a couple more things to do too. I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time on reparations for slaveholders. I just wanted to like wrap that up real quick. Listen,
how can you wrap up reparations for slaveholders?
because we're not gonna take a whole long thing about it because we still got to get to the Olympics and stuff. I just wanted to talk about like all these people that want to say that you shouldn't get reparations. We shouldn't have reparations for black people for slavery and all this and that. Well, you know who got reparations? The slaveholders. The slaveholders got reparations. You know how soon they got reparations? They got reparations as soon as they let go of the slaves. That's right. So basically the story goes that the Emancipation Proclamation gets signed by Lincoln. But because people like slavery, it's very hard for Lincoln to get people to part with their slaves, even Northerners, right? So what he does is he signs into the law that basically if you give up your slaves, for every slave you give up, he'll give you $300, right? So if nobody knows what $300 is, like, okay, $300 for a slave, that's not too bad. Okay, that's $300 today, right? So for today's standards, $300 back in 1865 would have been the equivalent of like $8,000. So basically, because of, and it's not even because like some like moralistic shit, it's basically because you have a business that's run on slaves, right? So you can't just start over your business if your business was always run on free labor. You can't just like restart. So basically the idea was that I will give you money to offset the cost of your business, basically. So I did like some like weird math.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you were on a meager...
Although notice we talked about earlier how don't ask Toasties to do math, yet here we are.
No, this time I'm using a calculator, so fuck y'all. This is what we should always do, is use a calculator, by the way. So let's say you had $8,000 per slave, right? Let's say you had like a small plantation and you had just like 25 slaves, right? So $8,000 times 25 people. Let's say just 25 slaves. That's $200,000 for 25 slaves. Just turning them in. You got $200,000. Boom, right there. I could use $200,000. I'm trying to get an apartment in New York. You think I can't use $200,000? Okay. So the government, like I said a couple podcasts ago, I can't remember if it was last show or show after last, show before last, when we were talking about reparations in the first place. The government is always giving white people a check. It's steady giving white people a check. There's not a time when the government thinks, hey, you know what, white people? You shouldn't have a check. Like, there's not a time. It doesn't happen. The only time the government doesn't want to give white people a check is if white people think that the government is also going to give black people a check. That's the only time. That's the only time. So I just want people to be able to think about, like, the next time they say out of their fat lips that black people shouldn't get reparations, they should probably think of the fact that black people were released as slaves for $8,000 a pop, and
couldn't even get the 40 acres and a mule.
Still didn't get shit. They didn't 40 acres and a mule. They didn't even get $5 off of that. Yep. They didn't get shit. No money, no nothing. Just say, hey, go out and be, out there.
Hope you make it.
Hope you make it. Yeah.
If you start making some money, we could talk.
Yeah, we'll burn your neighborhood down if you start making some money. But
and then steal everything.
And then steal everything. But have a good time with that freedom shit. Anyways, speaking of freedom, let's talk about weed the Olympics and Sha'Carri because somebody's not free to run around even though she smokes weed.
So, I mean, I didn't exactly do the whole story because we all kind of know
shouldn't
the
have
whole
said it that
story.
way. That's
That's fair. But we all know the story. Sha'Carri Richardson, she was the fastest woman in the 100 meter in America. Was set to go to the Olympics, and then got. I think she got suspended, and so she can't run in Tokyo. And I'm still unsure whether they managed to say she'll run again. But
basically, tell what happened. Her mom died.
Her mom died, and she smoked probably fucking joint, and they found some marijuana in her system, and decided that was enough in 2021 to ban the fastest runner in the sport from running in the Tokyo Olympics where she belongs.
Right.
Now, of course, I hear people like that's in the rules, but I'm sitting here like marijuana isn't a performance enhancing drug. I'm sorry. And I don't think they like anything that gives you clarity or anything is necessarily banned on the list. And if there is, I don't imagine marijuana has that much of an effect. I also don't imagine anyone takes marijuana before they compete for it to have a proper effect. Because I don't know too many people who prefer to have serious competition high. Maybe to distress or maybe something before training. But like, you know what I mean? So she got banned from running. People were obviously upset. And then it just brings up what's going on with the Olympics. Because then I remember swimming caps for Afro texture hair. Also banned. I remember they banned, I forget the women specifically, but it was 3 women from a country in Africa. Might have been Gambia. And they were banned because, their testosterone levels were too high. Their natural testosterone. I mean, this is their genetics.
Yeah.
This is they're not cheating. Sorry. That's how they were built. They're great athletes because of it. Get over it. And they were banned from running and I believe a relay because their T levels are too high. And so now I'm just looking at the Olympics like, damn, really? Y'all had the thing with Simone where, I mean, well, technically it's not Olympics, but Simone's been out here. They're out here saying, yeah, we're taking points off because she's doing moves that other people can't do. She can't be doing those moves. We can't be letting her, wait, what?
Yeah.
So what is up with the Olympics, which has always been up with the Olympics, which has kind of always been something up with athleticism because they know we're so good that they have to do all of this.
Go ahead and say what's up with the Olympics, though.
I don't know what's up the Olympics, but I'm asking,
Olympics,
if they
banning all the black people because black people are amazing,
then that sounds weird to me.
It don't sound like weird to me. It sounds like the Olympics racist as shit.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
I've been over the Olympics for ages. We don't care about the Olympics in my house. Like, fuck that shit. Like, it's just ridiculous. The purpose behind it and the whole reasoning behind it has been so lost and convoluted by our bullshit over the years that there's no point in it, you know? And they're constantly changing the sports and stuff. Like, they're constantly adding random crap in, like chess and shit. Like, which would be cool. Which would be cool if it was like a battle of intellect.
Fuck those chess players.
No, if it was just taken as more serious. Like, it feels half-assed, you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing feels like it's teetering on this, like, tiny little like this is the platform, like a tiny like pole, and then it's like all just teetering on top of it, you know. There's no real foundation under it. There's no the meaning that it's standing on and the meaning they're trying to give it of unity in the world. It's just a bunch of crock of shit with what's actually going on in the world, you know. And as you're saying, they're like excluding black people because black people are exceptionally talented at like some things and stuff like that. You can't exclude people. That's not how it is. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. And there's a crock of shit, and I don't support the Olympics at all because...
Do you guys remember which Olympics was it?
It's ridiculous.
When they went into a country and built a stadium in, like, an impoverished country.
Oh, they were trying to do that in, like, I think they were trying to do that.
Was it Brazil?
I think they did it in Brazil. I think they also tried to do that. No, I think they either built like a FIFA stadium in Brazil or some shit like that. But it was it was something like that. I know what you're talking about. But no, they were trying to build one, I think, in Dubai. And Dubai is like one of the richest countries in the world, but like the people who are poor there are like super poor, and so they was like, they were building on top of them basically. Yeah, and so that's what. And I was like, if you're not gonna move, I guess
the mental energy just gave me was kind of what it was. You know what I mean? Just like a big stadium drops and like thousands of homes.
So
I get. The Olympics has rules, and there's rules that need to be followed, and whatever. You sign a contract. You know what's supposed to be like on the docket. You know what you're in for, right? I think why this story affects so many people is because the world has kind of moved on, or at least Americans have moved on. I know there's a lot of places in the world that you can't like still smoke weed and stuff, but at the same time, like at least the Western consciousness is that this is something we're over. This is something that we are basically over. So the idea that the Olympics is so behind, like Claire said, the Olympics is so behind what the world has come to now, like how we are modernly, is a problem. I don't know how people can like not see it as like one of the biggest problems of a lot is going on right now, but I don't see how people can't see this as like a problem. I don't see how like the Olympics can't see it as a problem that they're not able to keep up with everybody else in the world, and like as far as what the actual like zeitgeist is of the world about, like when it comes down to it, like people know that she broke the rules, but like the fact that the story is that like I broke the rules, and she's not even asking really to be unsuspended. It's everybody else that's asking on her behalf to be unsuspended.
Yeah, because it's like crazy.
Yeah,
I feel bad for her.
She knows that she like quote unquote messed up, but she messed up because
the rules that she signed that she wouldn't break.
Yeah, she broke the rules because of like a circumstance that happened to her.
Extenuating.
You want to know what I did when my mom died?
Yeah, I know. It's like
you don't like unless you've had it happen or you have like a similar experience to having a parent pass away.
Yeah, don't.
It just completely rattles you. It's.
Yeah, I don't think they should have kept her from... You
don't act in your normal mindset.
I don't think they should keep her from competing.
It's not a good representation of who she is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It shouldn't be keeping her from competing. And it just brings up the reasons why. Because look at how she looks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not that there's anything wrong with how she looks, first and foremost, because it's her life. She gets to choose how she looks. She gets to choose how she expresses herself. But people look at her.
Look at how she looks. So you're
what do you mean?
No, you wouldn't get that. No, Claire, you wouldn't get that because there.
Well, no, you say what you say. Just say what you mean. Like
I get. No, it's not about what I mean because this isn't what I mean. People look at her and see her with like long acrylic nails and think, oh, there's a stigma behind. Oh, that's ghetto. Mm-hmm. They see her with her hair dyed, and you know how certain black women like to wear wigs sometimes over the natural hair. It's whatever what your preference is, but it's not about you. It's about her. That's how she likes to present herself. That's what she likes to do, and that shouldn't matter. But there's this stigma against her, and people look at her, and it's almost as if people don't want to see her winning. And it hurts me because, there are a lot of people like that, and that's very inspiring to them. Why would you take that away from people? There's a lot of women who look like her, that inspired, and you just want to shit on her for no other reason than your stupid fucking prejudice and racism.
I don't think this is the thing that's going to like break the Olympics. I don't feel like this is the thing that like is going to stop people from like watching the Olympics. I don't think they're really going to do anything at all.
Absolutely no reason at all.
Well, because
people like sport, Claire.
It's sports one, and it's also like the chance to be like my country's better than your country and things like that.
Because that's so mature. Like fuck off.
I mean,
Get out of here with
I
your
agree
bullshit.
with that one.
Not you exactly, but like that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But no, there is a lot.
I mean, listen, when Michael Phelps was winning, like America was like, yeah, fuck y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's swimming. He's just swimming in a pool, guys. But like at the time, it didn't feel like that. It felt like, yeah, fuck yeah, we got swimmers. Like I don't know what it means. But it's just
like I was proud of Kathy. I think her name was Kathy Freeman, but she was an Australian. Mm-hmm. She was the Australian representative for like running.
Yeah.
Like just I don't know. Don't ask me what because it's terrible at life. But she was a runner. Like she was really fast. Like that's what I knew about her. And I was proud of her because it was like the early 2000s, and she was actually representing Australia as an Aboriginal. So I thought that was pretty cool. But that's just like,
you had someone black running. No wonder she was doing well. That's all you had to say, Claire. you had someone black on the track, Claire. This is a very I was like, oh, really? Australian runners that fast?
I know.
And then she was like, well, Aborigines. I was like, oh, okay.
I was proud of the fact that Australia was like getting better at allowing Aboriginals to exist. That's what I
No, I'm teasing you, and I think that's
real,
great. I'm obviously teasing you. I think that's fucking awesome and wonderful.
Especially like what you told us about the history and stuff. Yeah, for real.
No, absolutely, yeah. Jesus. I'm glad she was able to do that.
I stated it was like the 2000s, so it was only like 40
I just
years
wanted to also state
60s,
for the record that you mentioned someone doing well at track, and both me and Logan was like, "Oh, Australia's good." Oh no, we're the assholes. He was like,
"She is Australian." Thank you very much.
I know,
but like,
I'm aware nationally.
Okay, well, listen. Hey,
honestly, she's a true Australian. I'm actually the fucking.
All me and Mitch are saying.
Facts, yeah, actually. Shout out to Australia.
All me and Mitch are saying is that white people in Australia have really good PR teams to make you think that most of Australia is white people. So when you say like an Australian person's running in the Olympics, sounds like some white lady is running in the Olympics.
But this is why I brought it up. This is why I said I was happy about it. This is why I liked that. Because
I'm just fucking. I think it's great. I think that's fucking awesome.
I said it in the first place. You know what I mean? That's why I brought it up in the first place. Because you're right, they do. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, when I was growing up, I didn't actually have that much contact with any like people of color aside from white people, and it was ridiculous because I just grew up in one of those towns where white people sort of flocked together, and there just wasn't a lot of like people of color just didn't go there because what would you?
Exactly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then I moved away from there like when I was about like 10 or 11, and I remember seeing an Aboriginal man, and he was incredibly tall and just a large man, and I just looked up at him and I was like, whoa, he's tall. And Mum was like just sort of analyzing my like reaction, and she was like, yeah, he's tall. And that's all I had to say on the matter. And Mum was like, oh, thank God. Like she was like, he's a racist. Like she just
what a beautiful chocolate man. You guys ever seen that meme where like someone brings a child?
I was surprised because all the white boys where I grew up were all just short little gangly fuckers. Like,
oh really? Oh, okay.
No, I'm just like
I don't really know the
or fat ones. So when I saw this really tall human, like all I could focus on was his height. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, height of the ancestors.
Like, sup?
Yeah, they can't all be Chris Hemsworth, I suppose, right?
No, I don't. Yeah, and trust me, we ain't all Margot Robbie either.
Yo, Chris
Hemsworth.
Like Australia sends out the cream of the crop. Like they sent out like the best of the best.
There was a time.
I remember there was. Sorry, you go.
There was a time when because he brought up Chris Hemsworth, it just made me think about when I saw.
Really? You have a Chris Hemsworth story, bro?
Yeah.
I know everybody.
I wasn't expecting that.
I have a Chris Hemsworth. I have a story about everything. I keep trying to tell y'all. I have a story about everything.
All right, go ahead.
Y'all believe me?
Story of Chris Hemsworth.
Since you said, but okay.
What? All right. Anyways. I can't stand y'all. Anyways. No. He was just saying how not everybody could be Chris Hemsworth, but then it made me think about like how at one point Chris Hemsworth wasn't like Chris Hemsworth because like he was in Star Trek as like Captain Kirk's father for like 5 seconds, but he's not buff at all. Like he's just like skinny Chris Hemsworth. So you watch
Star
like
Trek the films,
like the Star Trek with Chris Pine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, like if you watch those, like Chris Hemsworth is in the beginning, like he's like Kirk's daddy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's like super skinny and shit. That Thor shit ain't even existing. Like he's not buff at all. He's in like a little like a sweater. Like he's
facts. Oh man,
I just thought about that.
Look like when we first come out.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
About by the skinny white boys. Skinny white Australian boys. Go Google it. Like,
he started getting that Marvel money. He started buffing up. He started eating good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
I think
that's
he
great.
grew an inch. Like I'm like, he wasn't that tall. He was like, he's
Yeah,
not short.
But you can do magic with the camera. So you know what I'm saying.
I get. Yeah. Ask Tom Cruise.
Wait, I don't get that one.
You wouldn't because it's magic. It's a little known secret. It's a little known secret in Hollywood that Tom Cruise is the same size as Kevin Hart, but nobody want to talk about that. Okay, I'm stopping. Anyways, we need to stop the show. We need to get out of here.
Oh yeah, you literally did things to me, and I was like, "What? Those men are the same? Those white devils? How dare they?"
Claire, did you have anything you wanted to leave the people with?
Oh, no, I'm not getting better at this. That's what I want to tell you. Yeah, I hope you had a good time with us today. We're back. We are not better than ever. We're basically exactly the same. But if you're here and you like us, you know. So you wouldn't be here if you didn't like it, eh? So have a good day and take care of your mental health. Remember to drink some water. And it's good to be back. I love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Mitch, did you have anything else you want to leave the people
Everybody was slaves. Slavery was bad. Fuck the Olympics. Thank you, Phil Collins. Yeah.
It's all right. I just want to say, I had a really nice 2 weeks off, but I'm really glad that we came back in here. And I'm glad that this was like twice as good as I remember it. So I'm I'm just glad to see you guys again. Why you got to be like that, Mitch? I'm glad to see you guys again. I'm glad I get to talk to you guys.
I did miss you.
I miss both of you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm man enough to say it, Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitch.
You miss me.
Mitch is going to act like he didn't miss us, because he's an accountant now. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not an accountant.
He's an account manager.
Thanks again, Claire. Claire gave me such a sweet message on my birthday.
I'm surprised you even saw my message. I said
Claire,
it with
didn't
that
see
full intent.
Listen. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Mitch had a birthday, and I wanted to talk about that on the podcast too. Happy birthday, Mitch! Even though we happy belated, right? Oh wait, there's so much to talk about Mitch having a birthday. First off, I said happy birthday in the group chat, which he saw, which I was grateful for. But I made a whole listen. This is how I knew Mitch doesn't follow the podcast at all, because I made a whole heartfelt post on Facebook about Mitch's birthday, and he did not see that shit at all
on the milk and toast
page.
Dude, I'm not getting them.
Yes.
I don't see us on Facebook at all. And
that's crazy. That's
on Facebook, I seriously don't see us. So for me, and I follow the page. On Instagram, I see more, thank God. On Facebook, I don't see anything.
I do notice that. I'm going to wonder why that is. I'll probably call
I don't know. I should be seeing them the same. My profiles are public. That makes me really sad. I
I'll figure it out.
I still haven't seen that, Logan.
Anyways, I also couldn't tag you for some weird reason. So
That's
weird. It was just but I was just hoping you would see it. But I didn't want to share it to the group and be like, hey, look what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm sad. I legit still haven't seen that. And I just appreciated y'all both wishing me happy birthday, because it was a weird. I mean, it wasn't weird. I was just dealing with shit, and I wasn't even able to properly plan. But no, I saw your messages. Not everyone you see. No, actually, most of those are at least acquaintances or friends. So yeah, okay, I guess I do. But thanks, guys.
Yeah, you had so many friends, and I just thought I was just sending it through, and I was like, he'll get to eventually. And you replied in 2 minutes, and I was like,
yes, exactly.
You hit me up on Messenger, and so most people are either posting in on my actual page, or they're hitting on my Instagram story. Messenger, I'm not getting a lot of messages in, so I was like, Claire. Because Logan has sent one too, and I was like, "Oh my God!" On Messenger,
I'm not out here trying to show off both. I always message people through Messenger on birthdays. And
stuff. Really? Yeah, I'll it depends. If I'm cool with you, I'll try to reach out. Maybe if I still have the number. Which if I haven't been, I'll do a post.
Personal.
You know, it's a cool thing.
It is. It definitely is.
Mitch got the first birthday shout out too. That was kind of fun too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my birthday's 22nd of December. Remember it.
Yeah.
22nd of December? All right, I'll put it in my calendar. I don't have any other December birthdays like that. It's in my calendar.
But that's so fun.
Actually remembering it's so good.
The other thing about Mitch's birthday.
Now it's too late.
The other thing about Mitch's birthday that I wanted to talk about was that the other day I saw on Instagram how Mitch was at that little function that he likes to go to. And
and they fucking
and
caught
they
a
took
flick
a picture
of me, bro.
you. I'm like, Mitch is just out here having a hot girl summer. He's got his shirt off and everything.
I love going to that spot. I'll be out there for as long as I can.
Drink in his hand. He's got,
bro.
He's like,
bro.
I'm like, this dude is out here living his best life.
I was so, it is just like, I don't know. I just don't like my face in the picture. Like everything else I'm fine with. I'm just like, damn, they really caught me off guard.
It's not a bad picture. No, I thought it was a good picture of you.
No, people like, I just didn't like
that's it.
You look
That's
so
it.
grumpy.
Yeah, but
I know, and I don't know if I wasn't grumpy. I'm like, what's going on?
He's mad aggressive in that photo. Like he's super aggressive.
I didn't even mean it, bro.
Hot honey Sundays.
Yeah, it's a great time, man.
Yeah, right?
It's a great time. It's a great fucking time.
Anyways,
it's a great fucking time.
I just thought that was great.
It was.
like Claire said, if you're not following the podcast, you should be.
Yeah.
And if you are following the podcast and you are listening to us, because we do get listens. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for listening to us. We're back. I just appreciate the little bit of fans that we have now. I love all of you guys. You guys are so great. You know?
I love hearing the feedback, and I love having someone listen to me. Lord knows nobody else does.
You're not Claire. That's not you.
I recently listened to.
I'm kidding.
I recently listened to like the first episode because that's what I did over the break. I listened to the first episode and I was like, wow, we came a long ways. Also, the first episode was fire. So like I always thought like the first episode was trash. It's actually pretty good. So
that's what I wanted to mention today, because when I went onto YouTube, I almost said the YouTube. When I went onto YouTube to follow and the first video I saw was episode 1, and it's like, where's his lab? And now I just remember how funny how annoying. You're like, I don't know where his lab is. I don't know where his lab is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
It was so like, I was so anxious, and it was so like new and everything, but the chemistry was straight up. Like,
yes.
We all got along straight away. So
I love you guys.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the show. I'm very proud of y'all. I think it's going places
around there.
What?
Going around. Since when do you throw love around that casually?
With
this show, I feel like I have a lot to love. I think you guys give me a lot of reason to love the show. And I'm very thankful for you guys being here. I'm very thankful for,
Claire, turn off your computer, log out, and then meet me at coordinates that I'll be sending via an undisclosed telephone. Logan's been replaced with an Android. We need to figure out what's happening. Log out,
Claire! I know I push you guys a lot, but I'm very happy that you guys are here. I'm very happy that you've helped me build this thing and that we're like doing it. We're actually doing it. So that's the shit.
I've said we've been doing it, but still,
I know
the space in my chest where my heart used to be.
Also, I'm moving to New York, and that's scary as shit. So, like, if anybody, I feel like Sarah wants me to like be like, hey, if anybody's got a place for us, we're looking for like, something in the 1700 range, and we got money. So, what do you want to do?
1700.
What do you want to do?
What are you guys using? There's an app you could try.
I'll talk to you after.
I'll text. Matter of fact, I'll just message you something right now if it's not something you're not using already.
All right. Anyways, say bye to the people, Claire.
Bye, people. Have a great day.
Say bye to the people, Mitch.
Yeah.
He gets me every time. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what he does. I'm gonna laugh. I'm your host, Logan, and this has been the Milk and Toast podcast. And we're out.
We out.
Yeah.